The corruption comes when you start mixing gangsters with child molesters and purposely setting them up. We were staged inside of the visiting with the 40 millimeters while we got 20 gangsters, 10 on this side, 10 on this side, and walked them into the building knowing that they were going to all fight. It erupted and I start shooting the dude. Boom, boom, boom. I hit a dude like 5 times up the fucking leg. Boom, boom.
You ready?
Straight, dude.
All right, bro. We Hector Bravo, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're going to have some interesting conversations today for multiple reasons. One, I want to dive into your service of joining the Army.
Yes, sir.
And you got deployed for overseas for a little bit. You did a pump over there where you guys were in some shit quite a bit. And so you ended up losing, I think, your corpsman and...
Yeah, or medic.
Your medic, sorry.
Same thing, corpsman, medic.
Army is the medics. And then after that, after you're getting out, you kind of went through, your life kind of spiraled for a little bit with substance abuse and kind of led you down some bad paths.
Yep.
Before becoming a correctional officer, which that's what I want to talk the most about today, is because I feel our correctional facilities are some of the most corrupt establishments in this country as far as just what goes on in them, the money and this everything, what it's built around. And you ended up building yourself through 2 different prison systems. You ended up getting promoted to lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Which you were like the SWAT team commander. You come very highly decorated, and you've gone through all the phases of the correctional facility before making it pretty close to the top. Next in line was captain. That's when you discovered the corruption inside of the California correctional facilities, where you ended up quitting, ended up leaving and walking away because you didn't want to be part of that corruption. So we got a lot to unpack, and that's what I'm looking forward to, because I've had some inmates on, and they talk about what goes on inside as far as the correctional facility wise and how corrupt it is. So to hear correctional officers agreeing with inmates,
that's what's gonna trip you out, dude. We agree on a lot of things.
Yeah, so that's what I want to dig into. So, okay, Hector. Oh, before we get started, we're gonna send you home with a fresh baked loaf of sourdough. We got some really cool flavors that we just dropped for the holidays. So you get to go home. It started as a homeschool project for our kids, ended up turning into a business, and now with the support of everybody, you get a nice fresh loaf. We ship all over the country. It's from the Sour Bee. And then I'm going to send you home. I got you a Linear. I know you're a gym guy. You hit the gym this morning. Linear is an awesome veteran-owned company. He's here local. They make some really great lifestyle fitness apparel. And then I'm going to send you home with a Wild Chaos tee.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Swag to rock down to San Diego when you get out of here. So, all right, Hector, let's dive into this. Who the hell are you and where are you from?
Originally from Brawley, California.
Brawley, where's that?
It's on the corner of Arizona and Mexico. California side.
Got it. Okay.
Like the southeast
corner. Interesting.
Literally a border town.
Okay.
From the Imperial Valley, you got Glamis over there. Nothing to do. Small town. That's what kind of drove me to join the military, was to get out, right? Because I've always been adventurous and hyper and like adrenaline seeking.
Okay.
And when we were talking about this earlier, like, why didn't I join the Marine Corps?
So why'd you join the Army, not the Marine Corps?
So I had no idea about the military at all. Right. Besides, back in the day, there would be those Marine commercials with like a night dragon. I remember the chessboard, but I remember watching that as a kid, but I didn't realize that was a military service branch. It just looked like really cool. It wasn't until junior year in high school, dude, career day, Marine came in, dressed sharp, and just like the light bulb went off, bro. He's like, hey, your college is going to be paid for. You're going to travel. Your food's going to be paid for. You get to wear this nice uniform. I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm out of here. Yep. That's it.
Sold.
Yeah, then 9/11 happened. We're actually the same age, bro. We got to point that out, dude. Our birthday is the same exact day, exact year, dude. That's not a coincidence, man.
No.
So 9/11 happened. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely joining now, right? Like, this is without a doubt.
Yep.
So I go to El Centro, which is a neighboring city, because Brawley does not have recruiting stations, and I walk right into the Marine Corps recruiter's office, and I'm like, I'm here to join the Marines. Like, all right, sit down, take our practice ASVAB test.
Okay.
So I take a practice ASVAB test, bro, and I fail. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm too dumb to be a Marine? And they're like,
said no one ever.
Bro, exactly. He's like, dude, go try your luck next door with the Army. Like, that's literally what happened. So I go next door. I'm like, hey, guys, like, I just came from the Marine Corps recruiting station. I failed to practice ASVAB. He's like, oh, don't worry, man. Sit down, take hours, and we'll see what happens. I did, and they're like, oh, you passed. I'm like, well, there it is. I guess I'm Army. I don't know if that was a thing. I don't know if they were trying to hook up the numbers. For sure, I probably failed to practice ASVAB because my ASVAB score was not high at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've never heard anybody getting denied for the Marines.
But that's exactly what happened, bro.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened, dude. And you know, when you're 16, because I was 16 when I'm doing this, I don't know no difference. But I don't even know what the ASVAB was, bro. Mm-hmm. So then I knew what infantry was because I had already started doing my research, like, because that's what one thing I do is once I put my mind to something, I research the heck out of it, dude. Yeah. Whether it's reading reviews or an infantry. I told my sister, like, hey, I'm going to join the Army. I'm going to join the infantry. And she's like, oh, yeah, cool. Because my sister's 3 years younger than me, and she's always been my biggest cheerleader, bro.
Yeah.
And, told the recruiter, like, Army infantry. Not like I had a choice. Like I said, dude, my ASVAB test was score. That's besides the point. I might have failed it 3 times, but it doesn't matter, bro. We're not here for that.
Minor details.
I'm not book smart, bro. I'm street smart. I'll tell you that much, man. And I have high emotional intelligence, right? That's a fact, dude. So anywho, I ended up joining the delayed entry program my whole entire senior year.
Yeah.
So I was 17 years old. Both of my parents had to sign the permission slip waiver for me.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And they were like, my dad, dude. I mean, God bless my parents. Parents are parents, bro. And, we understand that. My dad's like, yeah, I'll pay for your college. Don't you want to? And I'm like, Dad, I don't want to go to college.
They didn't want you to go?
No, they didn't want me to go, bro.
Smart.
They didn't want me to go. I would have been the first one from my family, like to do it like that.
To go to college?
No, to go to the military.
Oh, okay.
Go to the military. 2001, 9/11 happened. Boom. Afghanistan invasion of the United States forces. The war kicked off, and then the freaking war drums were beating on Iraq's door, bro. So the propaganda machine, the news, the newspaper, Saddam Hussein, evil dictator, weapons of mass destruction. Like, bro, there was no doubt in my mind I was gonna end up in war.
For
like
sure.
That was you had Black Hawk Down. You had We Were Soldiers. Like all of these movies were coming out, bro. Like it was.
Yeah.
So my dad's like, go to college. I don't want to go to college. I don't even like high school. Why would I go to college? And
barely made it through that.
Barely, bro. Barely. I'll say it on your podcast. Like for extra credit, since I had a below GPA, below a 2.0, they gave me this incentive where I would go around with the girls volleyball team and record their games, bro, to earn extra credits to graduate. I'm like, oh, this is cool, dude. Like I would go to San Diego in the bus with them, like just one of the girls.
This is the best extra credit
I've never
ever.
said that before, bro. But yeah. I graduated June. I fly out July to Fort Benning, Georgia.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, bro. So hot, humidity that I've never experienced.
Oh, because you're going from the southeast corner of California, arid desert to the east.
So, humidity, dude.
How was that?
Oh, well, I got off the plane in Atlanta like at 9 o'clock at night, July 23rd, 2002. And I was drenched in sweat. And I'm like, what is this? Like, and I have asthma too, bro, and I'm like, what is this, man? And then when it comes to the Army, we have this thing called reception that I had no idea about, 30th AG reception. So you don't get off and people don't immediately start yelling at you, which weirded me out big time, bro. Like I was expecting it. I was waiting for it. I was prepping for it. And like, where they parked the bus at the Fort Benning and the drill sergeants come off and they're not saying anything. And I get off the bus, come right here. I'm like, what is this? Like, is this a setup? But it's 30th AG reception. So it doesn't matter how long you're there because it varies.
Okay.
That's where they shave your head. That's where they issue your BDUs. That's where they issue your boots, your 12 shots, your vaccine.
And you're not getting screamed at this whole entire time?
Screamed at, bro.
What?
Yes, it was very eerie, weird.
Okay.
But, and you realize soon you don't want to be there long. Right? You don't want to be there at all, right? You want to get it over with to the basic training. That's when you do your SGLI, your what is it, life insurance if you get killed in action.
Yep.
And so luckily, thankfully, I was only there for maybe a week, dude, maybe a week and a half. And then the day came where they march you down to your training area, your battalion. Mine was Alpha 254, Hell's Kitchen.
Okay.
And it was on and cracking, bro.
How long were you there before it popped off?
A week and a half.
Okay. Damn.
In
really?
reception. Yeah, bro.
Bro.
So like, think of it like as in processing.
See, I'm a Paris Island Marine. The second you cross that bridge,
that's what I expected, bro.
You're done.
I would assume, yeah, that did. It's a weird surprise that in the Army that did not happen in 02.
Ours actually starts in the airport.
Yeah, ours did not.
See, I remember getting off the plane and I'm like this little idiot kid and I got my little manila envelope.
Yeah.
Dude, you just get snatched up. That's the first time I had to do nut to butt. They're screaming at us and I'm some kid standing with my head on the back, my nose on the back of a dude's face or his head, nut to butt. I got a guy on mine and I'm like, what the fuck did I just sign myself up for?
But so you can see how it would be weird to not get that immediately.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, why aren't you yelling at me? Like, whoa.
Okay.
But once we got to the area, yeah, they had the 5-ton or the deuce and a half with our those bags, the sea bags. I don't know what I don't know, the big green duffel bags.
Sea bags, yeah.
Get them all, get it. And then that's when they start giving you the unrealistic expectations.
Times.
Which I've come to realize, bro, that makes you superhuman. That makes you superhuman, bro. Because if you can't accomplish the impossible, then like that just sets the threshold for like perfection.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because they're like, hey, you have 10 seconds to get all these duffel bags. 10, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
10, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Dude, skip like 6 numbers.
Uh-huh.
And right, but when I was doing push-ups, in my head, I'm like, yes. I was scrawny, dude. I was scrawny, bro. I graduated weighing 121 pounds.
Yeah, that's little.
I was scrawny. I had to eat a banana at MEPS to make weight to get in, 122. So like,
what?
I needed discipline, bro. I needed discipline. I was already drinking alcohol at the age of 15. I had already moved out of my parents' home my whole entire senior year of high school. I was living with my friend Jason and drinking alcohol and ditching, and I wasn't committing crimes, right? But I was just
fucking off.
Yeah.
So in the military, we'll straighten that out real quick.
Correct.
Yep. So you get to your battalion and all shit. Okay, so what's Army boot camp like?
Okay.
Basic training. You guys call it.
Yeah. It's called basic training for the Army.
Yep.
It is like, okay. I love generations. I love eras. I love to be able to identify. I think to me that was a unique time frame. Our drill sergeants were Gulf War. Yeah. Combat veterans, Panama.
Okay.
And again, bro, if you're new to the military, you don't know what the CIB, combat infantry badge is. You don't know what a combat patch is. No. You probably don't even know what airborne wings are. So I didn't know what any of that stuff was, bro. I'm just from Brawley, dude. 17-year-old skinny kid. But I could tell that these men were of a different caliber, dude. Like, these men were no nonsense type of dude. Drill Sergeant Furbish, bro. He looked like Popeye. Probably like your size, dude. Massive. Older, meaner looking guy with a big old dip, bro. The dip the size of this sourdough, like just like there is no doubt, bro, that he would beat the shit out of you if you just fucking did something wrong, dude. Yeah. And they were putting hands on you back in 02.
For sure.
For sure. Right? For sure. Which is fine. Yeah. Which is welcomed in that community.
Wings them out.
Correct. So like leadership. They smoke the dog shit out of you. And let's talk about realistically. People say brainwash, right? People go, oh, you go to the military, you get brainwashed. Well, what it is a breaking you down to the lowest form. Like taking away your identity, stripping you of your identity. That's why they shave your head. That's why you all wear the same uniform. That's why you all march in cadence. Attention to detail, the small things, like a pen, right? A pen. And you don't know why you're learning all of this stuff then, but it comes to make sense when you're in combat and people are getting killed left and right. And it's like, why do I got to worry about this? Why do I got to worry about that? Talking back, right? Questioning somebody. You fucking question somebody at the wrong fucking time, bro. That can cost somebody their fucking life, dude. Yep. Like, this isn't a joke. When it comes to the military, when it comes to life, when it comes to survival, when it comes to, like, trauma, like, you asked me how Army basic training was, that was already getting embedded in me. As a matter of fact, 41-year-old Hector right here is a result of 17-year-old basic training, is a result of good leaders in my unit.
For sure.
That's the only, and my father, right? I don't give him enough credit for establishing that foundation and cultural, like, integrity and ethics and stuff like that. But I'm talking about, like, what shapes you, machines you. But then again, bro, they were telling you you're a killer. Like, hey, you're a killer. You're a killer. You're a killer. You're going to go. You're going to kill. Like, they were using those words. And I had a hard time, like, I was a skater, bro. Oh, yeah. I was a hard time, like, fuck, am I a killer? I'm not really a killer.
Is that a weird transition then, hearing that, going from just being a skater kid?
Well, here's where I think mental toughness comes in. Or I should say adaptability.
Okay.
I was smart enough to understand in my own head, I better start liking this or pretending to like this because I'm going to have a hard time if I don't accept this.
See, I was the opposite.
Meaning what?
I fought everything.
You fought everything?
Everything.
Oh, hell no.
Fought everything. I just, dude, it's just how I'm wired. But
like, that was not, I would have had a hard time.
Oh, it's miserable. Fucking miserable, bro. Miserable, yeah. I just challenged everything from the start.
Oh, no, I did not.
Not like a belligerent way where I knew I was going to get away, but like I just stuck out by
everything. Absolutely.
Through my whole career. I challenged everything.
Not me. And I think that's I think that's why my story's so unique.
Yeah.
Because I was such a good follower for 20 plus years. Like, I mastered the pawn rank, bro. Like, I'm a good fucking pawn, dude, which makes me that much more dangerous than what I do now. Like, speak freely in the truth.
For
facts.
Sure. For sure.
But so it's physical training. You're going to get smoked, bro, all day, every day, especially if you screw up, which we were screwing up. It's mass punishment. It's flipping the fucking bunk beds. It's fucking flipping over the wall lockers. It's if somebody leaves an unsecured lock, all the locks are getting fucking locked. And now people might call this hazing. It's definitely not hazing, right? It builds fucking character and discipline. Which is why you should secure your shit and accountability.
Oh, God, yes.
Right? Because, I mean, if we don't have accountability, then we might just leave behind fucking Humvees and helicopters for the Afghanistan Taliban to take over and shit like a couple years.
Uh-huh.
So there was fights amongst the troops.
I was just going to ask, did you guys,
for sure.
You guys 100%. Check anybody? So in Marine boot camp, you screw up, like you're going to get checked at night.
Blanket party.
Okay. Do you guys do that in the Army?
Yeah. Well, back then, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, people got fucked up. I never got fucked up. I probably should have gotten fucked up, right? I think everybody's just trying to. So many people from so many different places. Fucking Chicago, Hazard, Kentucky, New York, Florida, me from Cali. It's like, dude, we're young, we're dumb. Yeah, people were stupid as fuck. Like, yeah, you're going to fight. I've seen some fucking stupid shit.
Like, basic training and boot camp are so fascinating to me. I would like to watch them now as, being mature, because I feel like the social experiment that goes on, because you just saying your rack mate, like my rack mate is from Orlando, Florida. Here I am from upstate New York. So you got guys from all over, all different walks of life. You got gangbangers, you got hillbillies, you got
racist motherfuckers, but they're cool. Like towards the end, they're like, dude, I never met a Mexican before. I'm like, this is me, bro.
Yeah, everybody, bro, everybody, all walks of life, just thrown in the one platoon and expect to like just.
But I love brotherhood. That's where I learned brotherhood, right? And you think back to like Spartans and 300, and you think about brotherhood, and you think about us being primal.
Yeah,
this is why I function the way I function, bro. And like you operate the same way. It's a small core group of fucking warriors, dude. Mm-hmm. In reality. Mm-hmm. Now, with every motherfucker that joins the military a warrior, absolutely not, bro. But that is like the beginning phases.
For sure. So after boot camp, where do you go?
I go to Germany, dude. I laugh because it was negative 20 degrees when I landed on December 8, 2002. I have all these dates engraved in my brain, bro. And my mom's like, Hector, take a sweater, take a jacket. I'm like, I'm not taking a sweater. I'm not taking a jacket. It was freezing, bro.
So you go from southeast corner of California to Atlanta, Georgia for training straight to Germany?
Yeah.
What was that transition?
It got real on the airplane ride to Germany. I got that fucking lump in my throat, dude. Like, we're going to war. Like, I'm going to war. Like, dude, is this what? And this is me completing basic training.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, dude, what the heck am I doing? Right. Like, right. It's like, and then my pop's eyes got kind of watery at the airport. My sister was bawling like hysterically. My mom was crying hysterically. Like, back then there was no cell phones. Back then there was no FaceTime. Yeah. Back then there was barely old school email. Definitely calling cards. You got to use the payphone. Yep. The calling cards.
Yep.
So there wasn't this fast form of communication
or letters.
Snail mail. Snail mail, handwritten letters. Yep. Of course, that's what it was. So I touched down in Germany, and I run straight from the airport, bro, across the parking lot to a PX. And I buy like a $300 jacket, like a cold weather jacket, winter civilian. And I remember being so proud of myself, bro, because like I had earned money in boot camp, because you're saving money in basic training. I earned money. I'm a man in my head. I'm making a living, and I bought myself my first big expensive like purchase. Put that on, dude. And then they bus us to Ledward Barracks in Schweinfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
Right. So like we look on the board, we see where we're going. 1st Infantry Division, says my last name. And as soon as they bus us into this classroom, dude, we get off. There's like school desk. There's probably I don't know if he was like a E4 or like a E5 in the front. He's like, hey, if you guys are going to 118 Infantry or 126 Infantry, you're going to Iraq. And everybody just put their head down, dude. Like it just got like,
oh yeah,
it just got so real, dude. Like you're going to Iraq, and we're like, the heck, like, kind of put our heads up. And this was December 8th, 2002. The war in Iraq did not start until March 2003. So then we get on a van. I remember we drove by a Popeyes. We go to Con Barracks, and there was 2 specialists. Specialist Stewart, a white guy, and Specialist Allen, a black guy. He would later on get killed in Iraq. I got his name tattooed on my back, Allen. They were the first 2 soldiers of our unit to meet us.
Okay.
And we got there at midnight. They said, hey, at 0400 hours, be in PT clothes. You got PT. We're like,
the fuck?
4 hours, bro? Yeah. We just flew like 16 hours. We're like, fuck, dude, we got like a fucking alarm. One of the dudes had an alarm clock between the 4 of us. So the 4 of us went to the unit.
Yeah.
We're like, dude, wake us up at 4. Cool, fucking bro. Dude, shorts, t-shirt, -10, -15, bro. Nipples are all hard, bro. Chapped, like freezing, like, dude. And then we go on a 12-mile run. No. Like, I'm not joking. You know how people like to tell war stories? Like, oh, I ran uphill in like negative weather. Like, dude, the tempo was hardcore. Here's why. There was a sergeant. I can't think of his name right now. He was trying to go to Special Forces, like selection.
Okay.
Sergeant Long, okay. White dude. And this dude, since he was training to go to Special Forces, bro, he was like actually leading our PT. So he was take us on these ridiculous runs. Yeah. Looking back in hindsight, yeah, that tempo was turned up, bro. Our training was turned up, but it would pay off when we go to Iraq.
For
right?
sure. Which is hard to see at that time as a young kid.
Correct.
It's just pure chaos. But the leadership knows the severity of it. Hey, we got to get these troops combat effective immediately. But I don't feel the military usually does a good job of relaying that. It's just,
I don't think it's their job to relay it. That portion, right? You just need to know
tempo.
basis.
Yeah, it's just here's the tempo. We got to spin these guys up now, which could be absolute hell for troops.
And bravado and machismo, like you don't want to look like the bitch, bro. You don't want to be the weakest person in the platoon. No. But I was gonna say something right now about leadership, man. I had the best freaking leaders, dude.
Did you?
The freaking best.
What made them good leaders?
Oh God, bro. The fact that they would eventually go on and get killed in Iraq, like even if they had not gotten that just confirmed what I already knew.
Yeah.
Like these solid, like what made them good leaders, bro? Like the 101, bro. Like if you got in trouble, like they'll take the hit for you, but then they'll like beat your ass on the side.
Sure.
if you did something good, like, he'll let you take the praise, right? If you do something bad, they'll take the hit. Just basic leadership, bro. Like standing in front of the bus for your troops instead of throwing them under the bus. Like teaching them, mentoring them, interacting with them, getting to know. Like, hey, like making you feel like a person. Yeah. Not just like a number, or not just like. Bro, as a good leader, man, you'll go to the gates of hell with these fucking dudes. I don't give a fuck, bro. We'll outnumbered, outgunned. Like, that's a no-brainer. No-brainer. So there was Hector Leja, Staff Sergeant Hector Leja. He would eventually get shot in the head. I got him tattooed on my back. It was like Douglas Grothin. He lived. That dude's a fucking badass mother. Dude, these motherfucking dudes were badass motherfuckers, bro.
And these were all your seniors.
Yes, okay. E5s, E6. Becker would eventually get killed in Iraq. Dude, fuck, bro. There was so many fucking good leaders, dude.
How long were you in Germany for?
It seemed like 2 years or a year and a half.
Okay.
So when I touched down in Germany, to the time I deployed to Iraq, had to have been a year and... Well, I'm not good at math, bro. I'll just tell you the dates. I landed in December 8, 2003. I deployed to Iraq in February 2004. Okay. What is that?
A year and a couple months? Yeah, a year and 2 months or whatever.
Now, that exact time frame, we were training 20-hour days. Weapons, we would put the weapons away like at 2,300 hours, bro, 11 o'clock at night, and weapons draw 0304. And it was just like combat drills. I mean, the basic... move to contact, react to ambush, live fire ranges, mount training. Because mount training, we were transitioning from that time frame. When I went to basic training in Georgia, we were learning how to fight in the woods, like Vietnam. Yeah, we had a small training of mount training, military urban terrain. Yep. CQB. Germany had a little bit more CQB training. Okay. Then you start to realize, fuck, dude, we're going into an urban environment. Yep. This is, again, you're young, so you don't know. But that's why it's a young man's game, bro, because when you're dumb and 18 years old,
you fall for anything.
You could sleep in the snow with no problem. You can, like, have 22-hour day training days, no problem. Like, get punched in your fucking nose by your platoon sergeant. He punched me on the nose on the range, bro.
How'd you get punched?
We got a brand new platoon sergeant prior to deploying.
Okay.
Sergeant Golick. He's a good dude, right? Psychotic, like, he's a fucking psychopath.
Okay.
For sure. German descent.
Okay.
Fucking psychopath, bro. Okay. He had just came from being a drill sergeant at Fort Benning, Georgia.
The worst.
Exactly.
The worst. Yeah, anybody off the drill field is the worst.
Exactly, okay. Bro. So we're in Grafenwöhr training in Germany, and he's like, hey, what's the hand and arm signal for file? So I go like this, right? Middle finger. That was the fucking hand and arm signal for file. He walks up to me. Boom! Oh, fuck, dude. My eyes fucking watered. Like, dude, I was crying. I'm not going to lie, bro. I'm not going to lie. I was crying like a bitch. Not weeping, not bawling, but I was fucking pissed, bro. Fucking bleeding. And everybody was kind of in shock. Like, dude, what the fuck did you just do that for to him?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I think he realized that he had fucked up, right? And he's like, no, that's not, no. How can we see that at night? We got to change it.
Oh, yeah. He starts backpedaling.
Yeah. Like, we got to change it. So I think it went to like this. And I'm like, how the fuck does that alleviate the fact that you just punched me in the nose for no good reason, bro?
It doesn't justify any of this.
Dude, right? So like, but I'm not a rat, bro. Hands down, I'm not a rat and I'm not a bitch. So of course I would, telling was not even an option. It wasn't even, didn't even.
What the fuck are you going to tell?
Hey, plus, yeah, who are you going to tell?
Yeah.
It wasn't an option. That's what they train you in the military. You just eat your shit pie and you say thank you and ask for seconds.
Yeah, thank you, man.
But I think looking back in hindsight, I think he felt bad because he invited me to his house for Thanksgiving with his family.
You're the only one.
With his family. Well, me and Maldonado from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I don't know if he liked us Hispanics or what, bro. But then he made me his driver in Germany, in Iraq. He made me his driver for a period of time. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this fucking dude. I see what he's doing. He's buttering me up.
Yeah, so I don't, exactly. I've had to do that a few times.
Yeah, so then we go to fucking Kuwait prior to going to Iraq, And we stayed in Kuwait for a month training.
What time of year was it in Kuwait? Do you remember?
February. But I don't remember the weather being bad. It was just, it is what it was.
Yeah.
It's fucking sand, bro. I picked my head for the first time. I shaved my head with a razor for the first time. Horrible mistake.
Why?
Because I got razor burn and sunburn, and then my sling from my rifle kept like rubbing it. They're like, bro, you look like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th.
Oh God.
Yeah, bro.
Your shit's like lit up.
Fucking inflamed, yeah.
Bro, Kuwait's an interesting place. When we were there, the only way I could describe Kuwait is like living in a blow dryer. It was just the hottest air 24/7, and how bright it was. Every time you'd walk out, dude, it was blinding of how bright. I don't know if it was the sand.
I remember the sunsets or sunrises were beautiful, like to a whole level I had never seen before.
Yep. Same with Afghan. Afghan had some of the most beautiful sunrises and sunsets.
Yeah.
So you guys get to Kuwait. Do you remember where you were in Kuwait?
Yeah, Camp New York, which is in the fucking middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And then we went to Camp Udari with the Marines to train in their like high-tech urban. It had cameras. It was like a little urban terrain thingy. We had like little paint.
Sim rounds.
They were sim rounds, but we were shooting at plastic silhouettes.
Oh, okay. You weren't
that would pop out like around the corner or something like that.
Yeah. So after Kuwait, so you guys are already 100% know you're going to Iraq. Like it's been.
We're there.
You're in Kuwait. How long were you in Kuwait?
So in 2003, when they captured Saddam Hussein, me and my best man, Garcia, were drunk as fuck in the barracks in Germany, dude. We were drunk. And we see on the news, the fucking Saddam Hussein is on the news, and we're pissed. Fuck, we missed our chance to go to war. The war's over. Fucking, we signed up for the infantry. I remember I got like my infantry blue cord, threw it at the screen. There's actually a picture of me yelling at the television screen, bro. Like, fuck, dude, we lost, right? Because, like, that's what every kid wants. They want war because they're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what every kid thinks they want, and, like...
Until you get it.
Correct. And I gotta, when we get to the end of this story, I'm gonna reflect back on this moment where I'm throwing the fucking... the blue cord at the TV and wishing that we thought we missed it. Yeah. We thought we missed it. Come to find out, 2004, we would find ourselves in Kuwait, we're in a classroom, and they're showing us a projector video. And the projector video is of a Russian convoy. And I don't know if it was Chechnya or I don't know if it was Afghanistan. But they hit an IED. They hit a mine. Okay. And the whole thing exploded. People go flying everywhere. And I remember looking at that like, oh, my God, dude. How do I protect myself? Like, I'm going up against that. Like, how do you defend yourself against that? I was scared, dude. Like, that put a little bit of fear in me, like, what the fuck are we about to get into, dude?
For sure.
Because just seeing that video footage, because we had trained like fake IEDs in Germany, but it wasn't that, like seeing the bodies fly.
Yeah.
And then, bro, we crossed the berm north. It took us 3 days to get to Balad, which is 50 miles north of Baghdad.
Oh, so you guys pushed from Kuwait into...
Yeah, you know how I got there?
This wasn't the initial push, huh?
No. It wasn't the initial push. So we pushed up on the MSR Tampa. I was on a Het, which is a flatbed, but on an M1 Abrams.
You're okay. So we did the same shit. They put our vehicles on flatbeds on the low boys, but we sat in our vehicles.
Yeah.
So you did the same shit?
Yeah, but dude, I'm not a fucking tanker. I don't know anything about tanks at all. But that's how I got up north on a Het, on a fucking M1 Abrams.
Yeah.
And like we took turns alternating. I don't even know who I rode up with, to be honest. We took turns alternating from the driver's seat, like just sitting there like that.
Yeah, you lay in it.
To the gunner. And yeah, bro. Immediately I realized that the Iraqi people didn't want us there by like flipping us off and giving us these evil looks.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yep.
Immediately. And
Some
we
looks.
can dive into like not just politics, but like propaganda and what they told us we were gonna be there for.
For sure.
They told us that the Iraqi people wanted us to liberate them. It was very apparent from the start that they did not want us there, from what I observed.
Yeah. So from Kuwait, you push into Iraq. How many days did you guys drive for? Because that's not just like an overnight thing.
No. So I said it took us 3 days to push up north. So I think it was either 2 days or 3 days. For sure, we stopped one time at a camp. It was a National Guard camp, bro. Like, I don't know where it was. Yeah. And I know there was girls there because there was no girls in my unit whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then they were saying like, oh, they said you should have been here last night. The girls had a oil wrestling contest in this inflatable pool. And I'm just like, right, because I didn't know anything about it.
This is Army chicks?
Army.
See, we had different experiences in the military.
But what I'm saying is like, that wasn't, we spent the night there and then we pushed.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were doing there.
For sure.
But, and then okay. So that's how it went. It went one night there. Then we get to Camp Anaconda. So I didn't realize this. Yeah. But we actually pushed up north past Palawata, our original fob. So like that, now it makes sense. We spent the second night in Camp Anaconda, sleeping on the tanks. And that's when I encountered indirect fire the first time. The first fucking night, the second night in Iraq.
You guys get mortared?
Well, but it's a big camp, so
for sure.
It was nothing serious, nowhere near me, but you could hear the boom.
For sure.
And then I look over and I ask like one of the most fucking veteran-looking guys, like, what the fuck was that? Oh, and then you could see a helicopter in the distance. This is the first night, bro. And then you see the tracers from the helicopter, and they're like, oh, well, I guess that was incoming. They sent the choppers out there to go fucking. I'm like, okay. And then the following morning, we went to our fob, where we would remain for 13 months. Ugh. And then it was on and cracking, dude. It was on and fucking cracking.
How long were you in Iraq before you guys got in your first firefight?
There wasn't like sustained firefights in my area at my time, bro. It was, dude, it was a lot of IEDs, roadside bombs, 155 artillery rounds, 2 155 artillery rounds. It was shoot an RPG at you and run. Fire at you and run. Bro, that's what was pissing us off, bro. Is these assholes wouldn't stay and fight. Rockets, mortars, every single day, and those were accurate. Like they would eventually get accurate.
Okay.
And then the VBIDs, vehicle-borne IEDs, bro. So I watched the escalation of the insurgents as they fucking progressed, and they kept countering. They kept hitting us with secondaries. I watched the whole. I was there for OIF 2, so the beginning of the insurgency.
What was the rules of engagement for you guys then?
Like on paper?
Or I mean, because...
Okay, I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. It was 2004. The rules were there. One rule for sure was... if you get hit by an IED, the SOP was everybody opens up in 360-degree fire. Like, that was the SOP.
Really?
100%, bro.
Interesting. I've never heard
that. Yeah, so, like, not that we ever killed anybody indiscretionally or, like, probably people that didn't have it coming, but did people die? People got killed, bro.
For sure.
Like, did people get fucked up? People got fucked up. Was it the people that were responsible for attacking us? I fucking have no idea, bro. That place they weren't fucking fighting us heads up. Mm-hmm. Were they investigating into, like, there was a process, right? If you shoot somebody, there was a fucking process for that. Yeah. You got to fucking do the, whatever that form was, like the whole.
The after action for it?
Yeah, well, you got to, it's like a record thing, like fucking.
So if you guys are getting hit with IEDs, mortars, all the shit, so that was kind of your guys' scenario. Did you ever have any close calls? Did you almost get blown up?
I got hit by an IED May 12th, 2004. Motherfucking bomb blew up like right next to me. It was 2 155 artillery rounds.
Really?
100%. And I was in a 998 vehicle, which is a supply Humvee, not the up-armored 114 vehicles. The supply one. You know, it looks like a truck and then it has the back.
Yeah.
I was driving that, boom, fucking detonates. Since I was inside the blast, I always describe it as this. It was so loud that it wasn't loud. Like, that's how I describe it. It was so loud that it wasn't loud. And it fucking, like, it screwed up my hearing because of it. Right now I can't hear out of my right ear. And I say it's my right ear because I had Sergeant Zaragoza, former Marine, as my TC. And I had my MP3 player in my left ear, listening to music, listening to Sugar Cult, Pretty Girl. I remember, bro, like, Pretty Girl. And I'm like, look, I'm like, what the fuck was that? I said, did we get a flat tire? That's what I said. Did we get a flat tire? And then And then the whole cab starts filling up with like black smoke, dust, and then it's like, and then it's like slow motion, and it's like, dude, we just got hit, bro, because we had just gotten February, March, April, May. I've been in country for 2 months.
Okay.
The day prior, my platoon got hit. Same exact fucking spot. Same exact spot. Checkpoint 27.
Okay.
So we were out on patrol. I say, Sergeant Z, tell me where the platoon where they got hit yesterday. Boom! Soon as he said that, fucking blew. I look to the back because Waylon, he's from Oregon. He was on the 240. I don't see Waylon. I'm like, fuck, Waylon. I'm fucking coasting, bro, because I'm driving. Fucking Sergeant Z is like, put it in park. Fucking park. But I'm like, bro, I'm like fucking just out of it, dude. Like, fucking throw the bitch in park, and then I hear the 240 open up. Brrr, brrr, brrr. And I'm like, fuck yeah, like Waylon's alive, right? Because that motherfucker took the fucking Waylon would eventually get hit probably by like 10 plus IEDs directly, bro. Like he survived all of them. Like the motherfucker was just a beast. Like, it was just pure luck.
God.
Yeah, 100%, bro. He was like a fucking magnet. We ended up killing a fat dude in front of his kids on that event. And it was a fucked up thing about it was his kids, they were 2 boys. One was like 7, the other one was like 9. They watched their dad bleed out. Like this dude had got shot in the back in the man dress.
Okay.
No exit wound, no blood. So we know this dude is shot because he's acting like he's fucking shot. Like he's like, saying some stuff in Arabic and then fucking go back out unconscious. Wake up, tell his kid something in Arabic, go back out unconscious. And like he just had a little slit in his skin. Like it that the fucking 5.56. We think we hit him with a tracer from the saw, we think, and like it cauterized the wound or something. The kids were fucking flipping out, dude, flipping out. And I'm like, that's when I told myself, there can't be a God. I grew up religious.
Yeah.
Foundation, structure, Catholic. And I was starting to rebel against God. Whatever it may be, bro. I fell out of graces with my God.
I feel you.
And I said, there can't be a fucking God. Like if I just got hit by an IED right now, this fucking asshole brought his kids to blow me up. And we killed him in front of his fucking kid. What the fuck is this? Mm-hmm. Right? This is like a gray area like a motherfucker. Like, this isn't how I had pictured war to be. So the dude was barefooted, the fat guy. The dead fat guy was barefooted. We go chase the copper wire. We trace it because back then they were hitting us with command and remote detonated IEDs. Yep. They would string the copper wire. We fucking go out. There's a pair of sandals where the fucking copper wire was at the end in the field. My sergeant comes, bloop, puts the fucking sandal on the dead man's foot and like, oh, this motherfucker.
Fit?
Yeah, 100% they fucking fit. He brought his fucking kids to blow us up, dude. And it's like one of those things like, why would you do that, bro? I remember I smoked a cigarette and I remember feeling my grandmother's presence. Like she has passed away. I just went like, dude, was that like a guardian angel? Like, what was that, right? And you asked, like, have I ever come close to getting blown up? The crazy thing is I don't even consider that one a close one, even though it was like right there.
Yeah.
What I was going to tell you about, there was fucking 2 sketchy ones. We were on FOB Palawada, which is a small little fob. Okay. And we slept on one side, and on the other side of the little fob was the internet cafe, where you get on the computers and get an email back home. It was me, Sergeant Dino, my best man Garcia, and my friend Mays, who was like 18 years old, young kid, bro. The recruiter screwed him, got him for 6 years in the infantry right off the bat. And we're walking, us 4 across in the wide open, dude. And we hear an explosion. Trust me, bro. We had been in country long enough to know the difference between incoming and outgoing.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I'm like, fuck, incoming, right? It was there, bro. It was there. And I'm like, fuck, incoming. And then my best man goes, nah, it's outgoing. I'm like, outgoing, bro, there's nothing there. Like, there's no Paladin, there's no 155, there's no 120. And then, like, another one. And it's closer. And the fucking guys working on the Bradley are like, run, motherfuckers, run. I'm like, fuck, dude, we take off running to nowhere. We're just running. Dude, I shit you not. I'm making that sound because that's what it sounded like to me, like the ground splashing, the hard structure splashing. Dude, we're like, oh, fuck. I don't know if they're bracketing us. I don't know if they're watching, bro. But those, like, dude, we find those concrete walls that keep car bombs out that are around the green zone.
Yeah.
But they're stacked, laying down. They're stacked. They're not, like, upright. Somehow, some way, like this little tiny hole right here, 4 big-ass men cram into there. Dude, that's when it started. Like, that's when it started. Like, on us, bro. On us. Like, these are, what were they? 120 rockets, bro? These were 120? And, dude, oh, man. You could smell the black smoke. Like, dude, it's not that I felt like I was going to die. At that point, nobody gave a fuck. Whether they lived or they died, they didn't give a fuck, bro. Trust me. And that was hard to trick your mind into accepting death. And we start laughing, dude. We're laughing, bro. Like, and it's just like, and we're like, fuck, dude. Eventually it stopped.
Yep.
Like after, I don't know, man. I don't know. In that barrage, there was probably between 7 and between 9. And then they fucking started there and they fucking, and then we waited. And we waited like 2-3 minutes and was like, let's go back. Like, let's go back. We think it stopped. Fucking take off running back. My boy Hinks from Minnesota, he's like, bro, did you guys get caught in that? We're like, yeah, dude. It was fucking right on top of us. Like, I fucking knew it, bro. It was like that timing. Dude, that was sketchy as fuck.
For sure.
That was that time. That was probably one of the times I should have got fucking killed. Then there was another time where, like, every time we come back from patrol, we have to top off the Humvees.
Yep.
Every time, mandatory, with the fuelers.
Yep.
Well, we had those HESCO baskets that surrounded the fuelers in like a U.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. We come back from patrol. I'm outside of the Humvee, gassing up my Humvee, and I just hear, dude, I fucking dropped the nozzle. I get in the driver's seat and I just drive. Again, there's nowhere to drive, bro. It's an open fob with nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And I just drive forward, right? And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? A fucking incoming. Like, fuck the fuck, bro. We parked the fucking Humvee and I look, dude, there was a rocket sticking out of the ground on the other side of the HESCO basket.
No.
Yeah, I swear to God, bro. Like, had that rocket went forward 4 more feet, like, had that rocket just went over the HESCO basket, it would have detonated that fuel truck, dude.
Oh, for sure.
It was sticking out of the ground, like the back half of it, right? Like, oh, dude. Those are the ones that I call, like, the close calls, because they were fucking blowing up, bro.
For sure. For sure.
But there was other events, you know? But, yeah, dude. Fuck me, bro.
So that's the terrifying thing is when you're not fighting a military, you're not fighting militia, you're just dealing with IEDs, indirect, and so you don't even know where it is, when it's going to happen. And you guys are out just patrolling every day?
Basically, you drive around till you get hit. Yeah.
Oh, shit. That was it, huh?
We did a lot of stupid shit. Again, man, you had to have been young to be able to get away with them doing this to us.
Oh, 100%.
One of the stupid fucking things they had us do was us dismounted, walk on the side of the road looking for IEDs while the Humvees trailed us. And we did that. We did that.
You look at it now and you're like...
Yeah, you look back and you're like, why would you do that, bro?
Why would you put us on the ground?
Why would you do that? Another stupid fucking thing they had us do was... the other engineer platoon, red platoon, they kept getting hit. Like 3 nights in a row, they got hit at the same place at the same time on the route.
Yeah.
And they got ambushed, straight ambush, like how you were talking about, like a sustained fire. They got ambushed. Small arms fires and RPG.
Yep. So
they told us, we were white platoon, hey, you guys are going to go drive that route, and you're going to drive with your white lights on at night. We always drove the whole night, the whole year. We drove with our nods and blacked out
for sure.
But they told us you're gonna drive with your lights on, and when you get hit, you're gonna kill them. So my sergeant's like, "Hey, Farrell, that's my last name. The one that was a Marine, Sergeant Zaragoza. Yeah. What would your parents say if they knew they were using you as bait right now?" I'm like, dude, when you put it that way, that kind of fucking sucks. So I'm driving the Humvee like this, bro, like scared as fuck, cause they just Dude, that was like dumb as fuck. Like,
yeah,
I don't like
suicide mission.
I don't like the idea that we had to drive with the lights on, bro. We could have just did the same thing with the lights off, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But I guess we were trying. Thank God they didn't hit us. But that was just dumb shit that we were doing.
Yeah, bro.
Dumb shit.
You look back, it's like, why? Like, what would be the point of that?
They weren't. Our leadership was good, bro.
Yeah.
They weren't. Those dumb decisions were coming from the top. But even then, dude, let me see. What would be a good one to tell you? One time, we drove from Balad, the middle of Iraq, all the way up to Mosul, Camp Spiker, all the way up north. And I did not have a windshield in my front of my Humvee because it had already gotten blown out by an IED. And I was driving with the first sergeant of the tankers. I forgot to mention that as prior to deploying to Iraq, they pulled my infantry platoon and attached us to a whole entire tanker unit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what they did was they made up a unit of a platoon of infantry, a platoon of combat engineers, a platoon of National Guard, and a platoon of tankers to make up a company.
Okay.
So we were being used like the redheaded stepchild, us and the engineers. And then they would eventually lose a soldier the first month we were in country.
Yeah.
And then we would lose their platoon sergeant, Sergeant First Class Joselito Villanueva, who I also have tattooed on my back, who was there when my friend got killed, Edgar Daclon. So, like, things started to get real fast, right? Like it sucked when the Americans, when we started to die. Like, other motherfuckers were getting fucked up too, but the way we looked at it, they're Iraqis, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. Until you guys get hit.
And then it became real, bro. I mean, we could talk about that incident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're cool with it?
When my friend got killed, because it's important, because that shaped me who I am today, dude. Okay. That changed me as a man.
So walk me through the day that your boy got killed.
September 10, 2004.
Okay.
Happens to fall on my mom's birthday.
Oh.
September 10, 2004. Edgar Daclon, Filipino from Torrance, was our medic. That morning, we were QRF, right? Because we had discussed you're either patrolling, you're either QRF, or you're either pulling guard on the can. It rotates every other day. Every day it rotates. We were QRF. So they wake up. They're like, "Hey, get up! We got incoming. We got to go to the point of origin, the POO." We had a satellite that would track the trajectory of the incoming mortar round and give us the exact grid coordinates for
where they launched it.
Yep. We knew this was going to happen, bro. We knew it was just a matter of time before they set us up because it was we did the same shit every time.
Oh, so you guys are building a pattern?
The pattern was built.
Oh, okay.
The pattern was built, bro.
Okay.
So this was going to be inevitable. The weird thing about it is when they woke me up for QRF, is that I didn't hear the incoming at all. And I'm like, that's weird. I didn't hear it at all. Usually you'll hear it. Yeah. Not that we're going to jump out of bed. It's just like, oh, you can hear it, right? That was the first weird thing it was like 6 a.m. My friend Maldonado from Puerto Rico was pulling the front gate guard. And normally, like you said, we're like, hey, what's up, fucker? Hey, motherfucker. Yeah. See you when I get back, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was eerie. It was not normal. He just looked at me. We looked at him. Nobody said nothing, which was abnormal, bro. So we roll out four vehicles. 3 Humvees and a M113 armored personnel carrier.
Okay.
Vietnam style.
Yep.
Our area of operation runs against the Tigris River. And we get to a T intersection. The hardball T intersection. It's a regular street. I'm the 3rd vehicle in line. Comes over the radio. Hey, we're the 4th vehicle. We broke down here back a mile. We're like, what the fuck? How did we not notice this vehicle fucking broke down?
Yeah.
The lieutenant, good lieutenant, he also from Puerto Rico. He says, hey, Farrell, take your Humvee, go link up with the last vehicle. That's what he says. So the fucking hardball, if you go to the right, that's where the point of origin was. And we knew it, right? Because we knew our area of operation, bro. So we knew that, like, hey, we're going to make a right. It's right there. I didn't give it any thought, dude. The 2 vehicles stayed there at the T. I go back with Sergeant Dean. I can't remember who else. And then there's some Iraqis. I think they were ING tagging along in that last vehicle. And as we're talking to this broken down vehicle and these our friends, we hear like a fucking explosion with that rumbled long. And we kind of just stopped and we're like, what the fuck was that? And then to me sounded like AK fire, but I don't think it was AK fire because there wasn't no like. And then you hear the fucking our weapon system. I'm like, oh fuck, hey, they got hit. They fucking went forward. Let's go. Like, this is me saying it I was the E4, bro. Yeah. Telling the sergeant, like, Dean, let's go. Let's fucking go, dude. They went, right? Because they fucking went ahead. Fuck, let's go. So, like, it fucking seemed like forever, bro, but it probably only like 10 seconds. Like, okay, let's load in the Humvee. Yeah. Let's go. I know a fucking shortcut through a canal road, through a dirt to get exactly to where they're at, which I take. And I see the Humvee parked. And I fucking put my shit in park and I jump out. And as soon as I jump out, bro, Sergeant Eggert, he comes up straight to me. They killed Doc. And I'm like, what? What do you mean they killed Doc? He's like, look, he's right over there. Look, he's killed Doc. And I look, dude, to my right. And yeah, my friend Edgar Daclon was on his back, laying there. And, dude, I remember my world, bro, and this fucking changed me forever, dude. Like, people probably wonder why am I fucking such a grumpy son of a bitch, or why am I no-nonsense type of fucking guy. It's because, like, I fucking run over there. Like, first of all, my world went, bro, like tunnel vision. And I run over there, and I fucking stand over the body. I got my rifle, and I'm looking at him, and I, like, start at his face, and I'm, like, going down. And I see he has dry specks of blood on his face, and I'm looking at it, and it doesn't look like Doc, bro. Like, I'm looking at his face, and it doesn't look like him. And like and not that he was disfigured, it just didn't look like Doc, right? And it looked like somebody else. And then I look at his right shin, and his shin bone was exposed. And then I'm like, fuck. And there's two ways. There's a street. There's traffic, and cars start coming down both fucking thing. So I'm like, I don't want these cars to come and see my dead friend here. Yeah. My Lieutenant Torres was sitting in the passenger seat of the Humvee like this. And I remember because I ran by him and the bottom of his boot was chewed up, bro. It was gone. Like, the bottom of his boot, the sole was gone, and you could see his bottom of his feet look like ground beef. So he took shrapnel directly to the bottom of his fucking feet. Like, I don't know if the blast knocked his ass over and just fucked his shit up. And then Hinks is bandaging up O'Neill. O'Neill had his back to the IED. It was surface leveled IED. So they just put a mound of dirt over it. Yeah. And O'Neill took a gnarly piece of fucking shrapnel to the back of the Kevlar, which pierced his skull.
Went through the Kevlar into his skull?
It pushed the Kevlar. So it made like a cone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It pushed the Kevlar and that pierced his fucking skull.
Damn, that dude had a headache.
Oh, he vomited because I went to his wedding in Florida years later, and I saw vomit on the floor, and I remember thinking, who the fuck threw up, right? As we're loading the bodies into the medevac. And then at the wedding, O'Neill says, I think it was me that threw up because I was so fucking out of it. Yeah. So at the time you had Daclon dead, the lieutenant, which is so fucked up, bro, because that's our medic. Yeah. That's our fucking medic, bro.
Was he in the vehicle or was he ground mount?
So I'm going to tell you what happened. They went fucking forward. They parked the Humvee right next to the IED. Hinks was driving. Hinks said something told him to keep the window up. He said normally he would cruise with the window down, and I know normally he would cruise with. He's like, dude, something told me keep the window up. Like, I think it was God talking to me. He fucking had his window up. Daclon opens the door because he was a leader, bro. To us, he was a grunt. Yeah. And you had a Haji, you had an insurgent in the canal watching directly. He's watching, bro, with the copper wire and with the battery. He's watching. He's waiting. And as soon as Daclon got out and stepped in front of the Humvee, he fucking detonated it. So that caused Daclon to fly across the road, O'Neill to get fucked up, and then for the lieutenant to get fucked up in the foot. That's when we showed up.
Damn.
Like, we showed up, like, that's the explosion that we had heard, bro. And I've never said it like this. Like, I've never said it like sequence of events. That's what everything had transpired. Mm-hmm. And then I would talk with my friends, like, hey, what the fuck happened, bro? Right? So I see the fucking cars, dude. I don't want them to come. I'm pissed. And I start shooting warning shots at one of the cars. One of the fucking cars turns around immediately and does a U-turn with the Opel, turns around and drives away. Then I see a white truck. I shoot the same exact warning shots over the truck. Truck's still coming. Like, what the fuck? I shoot at the ground. Ground fucking truck is still coming. And I'm thinking, I have to kill this motherfucker. The thing is, I had already shot somebody a couple months back, and that shit was kind of weighing on me.
Okay.
Like, mentally, right? And I'm like, I don't want to have to kill this motherfucker. Like, I don't even know. So I shoot the hood of I shoot the engine block with 5.56 and nothing. And I'm like, I'm going to have to kill this dude. I'm going to fucking have to kill this dude, bro.
And this is all happening in seconds.
Less than seconds.
Yeah.
And the truck's moving forward.
Yeah.
And I could see, as it's more approaching, I could see there's a driver, but no passenger. So I start lighting up the passenger side window. Putting holes in the fucking passenger side window. The stupid asshole keeps coming. And I could see he's kind of an older gentleman, an old man. So I'm trying to but at the same time, this is when they were hitting us with car bombs too. Like, the car bombs were already getting integrated. That's what I was assuming, right?
For sure.
Before you know it, the fucking truck is on me. I didn't shoot the guy. Thank God it was not a car bomb. We're pissed off. We break the dude's fucking window. He's like an 80 or 90-year-old old man. We drag him out of the fucking window. And to be real with you, we beat the shit out of him, dude. And like, this is the first time I'm saying it. Mm-hmm. We beat the fuck out of him, dude. And we put him back in the fucking truck. And he turned around and he left. Like, the dude was blind, deaf, and dumb. Literally, all three. Oh, God. And he fucking goes on his merry way. Oh, God. Meanwhile, you still have my friend dead on the fucking road. O'Neal fucking getting bandaged, and bro, like it seemed like we were just like out there. Mm-hmm. And somehow, some way, Weeks shows up fast. Like, I don't know, Weeks was probably already there, but Weeks links up with me, and I say, like, Weeks, let's go follow the wire, right? Because, like, literally, this is all we have right here, right now. Like, all right, let's go follow the wire. So we fucking follow the copper wire to the motherfucking end of the thing, right on the Tigris. We look, the dude detonated it, and he ran down the Tigris into the village. We would drop two 500-pound bombs on that village like the following day, bro. No just to fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, say fuck you for killing our friend.
Yeah.
Well, the Air Force did it, but we called it in.
Yeah.
Well, the Air Force handled all that shit. I don't think we were calling in bombs like that. So by then, me and Weeks are walking back. The reinforcements came, dude. Like, because we were only 3 miles from the FOB, 2 miles from the FOB. The tankers showed up, like the higher ranking, like tankers. And this is a fucked up part, bro. This is where Joselito Villanueva, the Filipino E7 Sergeant First Class, the platoon sergeant for the 9E. He was a very nice man, bro. We went to R&R together.
Okay.
We went to R&R together. We were in Kuwait together. We did our laundry together. He was older than me. But again, I looked at all these dudes like father figures.
Yeah.
He went to Los Angeles. I went to San Diego. When we drank a beer together at the airport, I was only 18, bro. I was 19. And somebody bought me a beer and I drank it. I asked him if I could drink. He's like, yeah, of course. We were in DCU uniform because that's what they made us fly in. The weird thing is that when we got back to Texas to fly back to Iraq, he straight up tells me, like, I don't want to go back. And I looked at him, I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to go back? We have to go back. He's like, yeah, I know. So he had taken shrapnel in his neck when his soldier got killed in the beginning of the deployment.
Yeah.
He was a Gulf War veteran. I think this dude had like a sixth sense, like something was going to happen. He meets me in the fucking field after I pop smoke for the helicopter. We're waiting for the medevacs now. We got the reinforcements. Everybody's there. And I'm standing straight up in shock, bro. Like, and I know what shock is now, looking back in hindsight. And he fucking grabs me. He's like, hey, take a knee, Farrell. You're doing good. Take a knee. You're doing real good. Like, and the helicopter's coming down. Like, I didn't even realize I was fucking standing straight up, dude. And, like, I take a knee, and he calmed me. And he played that role, you know, mentor, like fucking just an amazing leader. And we go and we start loading bodies into the fucking medevac. And I look at the fucking pilot and I just give him this look like thank you, like take care of them, like fucking. Then they fly away. That was September 10, 2004. We go back to the fob, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's my mom's birthday. Fuck, I better use the phones before they shut them down. Yeah. Because every time an American soldier gets killed, they shut down the phone for 72 hours. Yeah. Yep. They want to be the first to notify the family. I fucking call my mom. I'm like, hey, Mom, happy birthday. Yeah, everything's cool. Like, yeah, don't worry. Like, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Hope everything's okay. Bye, I love you.
Was that a tough call?
Yeah, dude, because everything was not okay.
Yeah.
But I wasn't about to fuck up her birthday, you know? And, like, I was like, fuck. And I wonder if that part fucked with me. Like, I don't know what you call that part, right? What is that? Guilt, shame? I don't know. That whole fucking incident fucked with me, right? Clearly. Loss, grief. 17 days later. No, August 10. Yeah, 17 days later. 17 days later, September 27, I'm QRF. Again. The first time I'm thinking, again. Red Platoon is out, which is the engineers. We hear over the radio, Red Platoon is in contact. They're requesting QRF. Hey, let's fucking load up. Let's go, right? We knew what time it was. We always have our gear ready. Mm-hmm. Let's go. For some reason, I would always get impatient, right? Like, let's fucking go. Like, they need us. We go, finally, leave the gate. We're down the route. And there's that field, like I told you, it's like a field. I see Americans. It's kind of at a distance, but not at a distance. I see Americans loading a body, picking a body, putting it into a body bag. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Please let that be Iraqi National Guard. Please let that be ING, right? And then you hear it over the fucking radio, dude. Be advised, Red 7 is KIA. I was like, what the fuck, dude? That was Joselito Villanueva, who I went to R&R with, who was there with me when Doc got killed. He was the platoon sergeant for fucking the engineers, dude. And like, that was two major initial blows for me as a man, as a young man, as a human. You know, we talk about sacrifice. I talk about sacrifice. You know, I get so pissed off. And this is what I struggle with, dude. I get so fucking pissed off that I feel Americans are cowards and lack courage and spine and backbone and are afraid to say the wrong thing to their boss because they don't want to lose their job. And I'm like, you motherfucker, dude. I knew men that would fucking gladly give up their life for us, right? But it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, I don't want to, like, put the blame on them for them not serving, but at the same time, dude, I recognize what sacrifice is.
For sure.
And I recognize what cowardice is.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So that fucks with me. The crazy thing is, I mean, this whole thing is all fucked up, right? But September 10, Daclon gets killed. September 27, Joselito Villanueva gets killed. October 1st, we take over the city of Samara, Operation Baton Rouge. So basically, for you Marines, you guys took over Fallujah. Mm-hmm. This was our version of Fallujah, smaller scale. Okay. But the city of Samara. Samara had been taken over by insurgents. It had definitely been taken over by insurgents. Yeah. And we had to go in there. And that was cool as fuck.
Why?
Because we were on the offense. And for the first time in our deployment, we were on the offense. We pushed on the edge of the city. Every American fucking firepower, bro. You had the AC-130 gunships that lit that motherfucker up all night. Probably the best fireworks show I've ever seen, dude.
For sure.
Everything we had, we gave it to them, bro. Artillery, fucking 120 tank rounds, fucking the whole nine, bro. That was prior to us entering the city. And then it was 3 days of clearing house to house, kicking in fucking doors, smashing motherfuckers. Like, dude, we knew which house the engineers had hit because they would all be on fire after we left.
Yeah.
They were so pissed, right? Because their platoon sergeant had just gotten killed 3 days prior. Yep. We hit that fucking city with a vengeance, bro. with a vengeance. So the briefing before we went, we were in a conference room with a table, and I asked the lieutenant, hey, sir, is there going to be people going about their daily business, like grocery shopping, putting in gas? He's like, hey, the lieutenant colonel says he wants to start this city from the ground up. We have 0% collateral damage. They've been given enough warning to get the fuck out. All right. He said, every car that you see, blow it up. It could be a V-bid. He's like, I don't give a fuck. AT-4, 203, grenade, blow. And we're like, roger that, sir.
How fun was this?
Bro. It's like being the best. It's like a little boy's fucking best dream.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You get a whole city to yourself. Now,
just to run amok.
Now, I told you, we were not indiscriminately killing people, right? We weren't. And I don't know anybody of us American troops that were. But we had taken over a school. Like we were operating initially, and they're like, hey, Farrell, did you kill a fucking lady yesterday? I'm like, what? No. Like, they asked me, and I fucking kind of felt disrespected that they would ask. Like, no, why? They're like, 'cause there's a fucking dead lady over the wall. I'm like, there is? Like, I guess on the other side of the wall, there was a fucking dead person.
Yeah.
I didn't bother to go look, nor did I give a fuck, right? Like, at that point, there's nothing to it. Like, dude, it just, different time frame.
For sure.
Cars were on fire. Houses were on fire. Things were getting broken. People were getting fucked up. And we were finding weapon caches. We were finding bad guys. We were finding daisy-chained IEDs, bro, which is scary. Because they had rigged that whole place. That whole place was like an insurgent's playground. They had fucking shit. Like on the rooftops, they had like special RPG stashes where they can run and shoot. They had the daisy-chained IEDs, I think, were the fucking gnarly. Where you'll find multiple IEDs linked together on a fucking like dirt road on a narrow way. We found artillery rounds that had that serum gas.
Okay.
It's like that yellow fucking gas or whatever. Because they had started hitting us with those IEDs, but the chemical wasn't working because in order for the chemicals to work, that artillery round needs to rotate to activate the chemicals. At least that's what they told us. So the fact that it was just detonating and putting a cloud of chemicals, like poof, it wasn't being effective.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then we took over a mansion. So we operated out of a school. We operated out of the mansion. And we stayed there for a month. And then we went back to Balad. But that was that offense. So, yeah, like 2004. It was just a different time frame, bro.
For sure.
I don't think that shit's ever going to happen again. Not like that.
Oh, who knows? I never thought we'd be in trench warfare, and here we are in Ukraine.
True.
So how many guys did you end up losing on that deployment?
So on that deployment, we lost one guy KIA.
Yep.
With a few guys wounded, Purple Hearts. Joselito Villanueva from the next platoon over. And then when I got out of the Army, my friends kept dying. They kept deploying. My friends from my platoon were PCSing to other units and getting killed. Hector Leja, I think he went to the 25th ID. He got shot in the head by a sniper, and that's actually on YouTube, bro. When he got shot in the head, like I seen that shit. Like I seen how he got killed, and I'm like, fucking. I was at the academy to become a CO when I saw his death in 2006. Ellen, that black dude that greeted us.
Yeah.
He went to the 10th Mountain. He got killed. My friend Soto, he got out of the Army, re-enlisted, then went back and got killed.
Oh, God.
Michael Beckert, he was my initial team leader. He got fucking hit by an IED, caught on fucking fire, flown to fucking Texas, where he would eventually die of his wounds a few days later. You had Ryan Wood, who I went to basic training with. He went to 126. He died by an IED. Joseph Herndon, who I went to basic training with, he went with a 25th ID. Jeffrey King, who got wounded by an RPG, then he would come home and commit suicide. Like, it was a lot, bro. And it was fucking with me. So I started drugs and alcohol.
For sure. So when you got back from Iraq, how long did you have before you were out of the Army?
3 months.
3 months. So in that 3 months,
It was a blur.
Yeah, because now you're doing everything. You're doing all your checkout paperwork. You're just distracted, so you never got a chance.
And drinking a fifth of vodka a night plus a 12-pack of Coronas. During that period is when I started that much consumption.
You guys never had any decompression coming back. You went straight into checking out to get out of the military.
Well, yeah, there was that 3 months.
Yeah, but during that 3 months, I mean, there's a process to get out. So it's not like you guys are even.
There was a process. I was out processing.
Yeah, you're out processing. So you never even processed any of the trauma that you dealt with overseas. You came back and went straight into getting out mode.
But then again, 2005, bro, mental health awareness was not what mental health awareness is in 2026.
Hell no.
It was you stay quiet. Nobody's suffering. Everybody's cool.
Everybody's good. Good. Check. All right.
And in reality, that was not the case for me.
For sure.
And meeting a lot of men later in life, that was not the case for them.
For sure. 100%. That's why I'm asking, because in your era and my early era, it was like, hey, you guys are all good. Don't say, because I remember we got to.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Before we left Iraq, there was a nurse. Our sergeants came in, said, hey, this nurse is going to ask you a series of questions. As soon as you say no, the sooner we can get out of here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Same speech.
These are what she asked. Have you ever killed anybody? No. Have you ever seen any Americans die? No. Have you ever seen any enemy die? No. Have you ever seen any civilians die? No. Bro, I didn't even tell you about the car bomb, but it doesn't matter. I don't even have to tell you about the car bomb, right? Like, it killed 22 motherfuckers. It was a mess. So we answered no when all the shit was true.
Yeah.
Before we move on forward, you remember when I told you that I had threw the stupid fucking blue cord at the TV?
Yep.
And my best man, we thought I missed our war? Well, this was a year of bullshit that we had dealt with, right?
Yep.
The last month we were in Iraq, bro, was that major car bomb that killed 22 fucking people. There was just pieces of meat all over the fucking floor, bro.
How close
steaming because it was January. So just charred, steaming meat. 22 people who were people. There was not one complete corpse. They were all charred. They were all fucking pieces.
Are these military or these?
Oh, these were ING, bro. This was a bus full of ING. 22. They were a bus full of Iraqi National Guard. They blew that motherfucker up right in front of our fob. A little way down the street, but right in front of our fob.
So you guys are first there.
We were QRF.
Yeah.
So we were there, bro. Like, we were picking up the pieces.
How was that?
A nightmare. A living nightmare. A hell on earth. Like a nightmare. Like if you were having a nightmare and you were to see that, you would probably want to shake yourself awake and be like, oh God, thank God that was a nightmare. But I remember specifically thinking, oh God, this is fucking real, dude. And there is no shaking away. And I'm staring at everything. And I've said this story part before where I see this corpse, bro, and the corpse is fucking mangled like this. And there's a hole where the face is supposed to be. And I see two Iraqis grab the body and move the body, and it just slush red just comes out. And I remember going like, oh, fuck. And then I hear Sergeant Dean, like, because Sergeant Dean was my team leader, bro, so he was everywhere with me. He's like, hey, Farrell, get the fuck out of the Humvee and start picking up fucking pieces right now.
Body pieces?
Pieces. Body pieces. Chunks. They were fucking chunks, bro. They were boots with feet still in them. Those fucking Kevlars that were flat, like paper flat Kevlar. It was a fucking car bomb, bro. It was a fucking SUV that pulled up next to a bus and detonated. And it just poof, fucking blew everybody away. I didn't want to get out of the Humvee, bro. I didn't want to get my boots dirty. That was January, fucking a month before we were getting the fuck about to leave. I was so tired. I was over that place.
Yeah.
I was over that place.
Yeah.
Sergeant Golson, solid ass fucking big muscular black dude. A beast, bro. Squared away, fucking perfect leader. He's like, he was in the invasion. He was in the invasion of Iraq in 2003.
Okay.
With the 1st Armored Division, the push. And he's like, I've seen too much. This is what he tells me. See, because I was seeing a lot of weird shit that it wasn't adding up in my head. He tells me, like, I've seen too much. And I'm like, what do you mean you've seen too much? Right? Like, you're an E7, bro. He's like, I've seen too much. I think I'm going to need to get help when I get back. And I think to myself, what the fuck does this mean for me? Right? Like, what the fuck am I? So the thing about trauma, and this is for the viewers, is that when you're in the middle of the shit, bro, you have no idea what transformation your mind, your soul, your heart, your gut, your body has already endured. You have no fucking clue, bro. You're just
changing.
You're just in the belly of the motherfucking beast, dude.
Yep.
So that was the car bomb. Couple weeks later, we're QRF again. We get a call. Hey, a car got shot up. An Iraqi car got shot up by another set of Iraqis, a tribal war. Go to this location. The car's there. There's dead people there. Okay. It's a canal with no water. There's a car. I mean, I got the pictures. I got the videos, bro. And I look, and there's a dude driver's seat with a good, clean bullet hole right here. His brains are fucking on his shoulder. Fucking fingers are all shot up. There's like bullet holes everywhere. And we walk. Me and my best man, we walk. And we're looking at the body, and we're like, fuck, dude. Oh, fuck, man. Tired of this shit. And then we get a call on the radio. It's my friend Weeks. Hey, Farrell, I have the dude's family here right now. Should I let him go through? I say, no, Weeks, don't let him go through. Don't let him go through. He's like, too late. They're going through.
Oh, God.
Oh, they're walking. Like the dude, the son had to have been like probably 20 years old. He fucking looks in the car. He sees his dad with his fucking brains all like on that. The kid, the son goes like, ah, ah. He starts screaming and crying, right? My best man starts laughing. Which another form that I found, people think we're crazy, right? But I found that it's like a coping mechanism. They call it like a sympathetic laugh. Like you're doing it right now, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
You're doing it right now.
That shit's just kind of funny, though. Like, it's just, that's the only way you think you could do is laugh or cry.
No, excellently put. So he starts laughing, and I'm like, oh, bro, stop. Because then I want to laugh too, right? And I'm like, bro, you're such a fucking asshole, bro. Stop. Because the dude's dead. His son's screaming. They're looking at us. The motherfucking brains are on the shoulder. Then the fucking son says, do we take him to the hospital? I said, take him to the hospital? I said, fuck. Let me know if you know a hospital is going to bring him back, because I got a couple friends I want to bring back. He like, look, right, because we're assholes, bro. We're like calloused, hardened motherfuckers. Yeah. So basically what we end up doing is we end up throwing the dude a body bag. Here, put your dad in there and do whatever you want with him. Take him away. I don't give a fuck, right? Like,
that was always awkward, like watching how you just have like a dead Iraqi there. Like,
but they were dead there all the time. You just fucking.
Like, what do you do with it?
Correct.
Yeah, it was.
One time we put one on the Humvee because of my psychotic platoon sergeant. He said, put him on the Humvee, put him on the hood like a fucking deer, and we drove him back to FOB. Like,
God, oh God,
not
a good look. Yeah,
back to this fucking story, dude. Me and my best man were sitting on that canal bank, tired as fuck, right? Exhausted. And he tells me, as the son is loading the dad's body into the body bag, me and my best man, this is like 7 a.m, bro. He says, hey, bro, do you think that when we go back to the United States, we're gonna have issues like the Vietnam veterans, like the Gulf War syndrome? And I'm like, nah, bro. I said, I think we're good, man. Like, we're here sitting next to some brains, and all I can think about right now is going back to the chow hall, and I hope the chow hall is open so that we can eat some fucking breakfast. Thanks. He's like, oh yeah, for sure, bro. I'm fucking hungry. We're like, yeah. But if you think about it, dude, that's not.
It was a fuse. It was lighting a fuse inside of you.
If you look at it, dude, that's not normal.
No, fuck no.
So like.
But at the time, we didn't.
It had already began, dude.
Yeah.
It had already began. So you come back to Germany, you lie to the mental health physician, you come back to Germany, you start coping with alcohol, self-medicating, because it numbs you, because it makes you pass out, because you don't have to think, you don't have to feel. Dude, it was a fucking time bomb. I was a time bomb, bro. I'm so passionate about helping people now because of how bad I got, dude.
Yeah.
In 2005.
Yeah.
In 2005, and then 2010 is when I would eventually get sober, right? But 2005 was filled with drugs, meth, coke, alcohol.
You're still in the military during this time?
No, I ETS.
Okay.
I waited till I ETS to fucking do all that other stupid shit.
And so you're just chasing it.
chasing something that didn't exist.
Or running, I should say.
No, I was chasing the high. Well, chasing and I was running and chasing at the same time, hiding. Like, what I was doing was chasing the adrenaline that I would never feel from combat ever again, no matter how many women, how much alcohol, how much drugs, how fast I was driving on the highway, 120 miles per hour, 105, getting in fights, challenging people to fight me. I never even came close to the adrenaline of combat. I'm keeping it 100% real. Yeah. I never fucking I never even touched it. No way. Nothing would ever has replicated that. But at the same time, I'm self-medicating. I'm drowning my trauma. And by trauma, I mean, what do I mean? I mean sadness. I mean fear. I mean guilt. I mean shame.
Loneliness. Yeah.
Loneliness because I was alone without my friends from the military. Oh. I didn't have a weapon. Yesterday we were talking about identity. Technically, that was my identity. I consumed it. Bro, being a young soldier in the barracks overseas and then going to war like that's you, bro. I said it very clearly. We were training 22 hours a day. There were no days off. There was no off time.
Like, and now you're off.
And now
you have nothing.
$20,000 saved up from the $20,000 from the deployment.
Yeah.
And then like 8 of my friends joined the Marine Corps and like 1 or 2 to the Air Force. We all came back to Brawley with $20,000 in our bank accounts. We were all 20 years old, bro. What do you think that looked like?
Raging party.
Raging. We partied hard for the whole entire year of 2005. I was drunk the whole entire year of 2005. My parents were done with me, bro. They would kick me out of the house.
So that's when. So after you go through everything that you went through in the military, you get back from deployment. 3 months later, you're out.
Yep.
So no decompression, no help, and especially during that time, there was. It's not like the shit we have now.
They had nothing.
Early days, it was just like, hey, you're good. Okay, cool.
Even internet was MySpace.
Yeah. So, okay, you're right. So you come back, no help, no support, and now you're just on your own. So this is when life starts to spiral.
Bad.
Well, you said you got into drugs. What are you doing for drugs?
Okay, but this might sound stupid as fuck, but I fucking tried methamphetamine before I tried cocaine.
Really?
100% fact.
How do you just try meth?
Because where I'm from, there's drugs everywhere.
Okay.
And the people that were there at my party, who were my friends as well, all I said was, I want something. That's all I said. I want something. He said, okay. He said, do you want to stay up for days or do you want to stay up for hours? I said, I don't give a fuck, bro. Days. Right? That's what I said. And he comes back with something, which happened to be meth. And I want to say that I snorted it that time, right? Because I've snorted it, I've smoked it. But that motherfucker, like, yeah, it sucks. Whoever has ever snorted meth knows that it sucks to snort it. It burns and it fucking, like, you're up. You're up for days. You don't eat. You don't sleep. You're fucking paranoid. Eventually, you do it so many times, you're paranoid. Anxiety. You want to know the crazy thing about me is, like, I probably naturally have anxiety as is. I'm hyper as is. I don't need methamphetamine in my fucking system, bro.
Yeah.
Do you realize how bad that was? I was living in hell. And then the coke, right? Because who gives a fuck about trying coke if you've already tried meth?
For sure.
And then the roller coaster from hell is what I called it. This is what every day looked like for me. I would wake up at the nighttime to get ready to go party. I would start consuming alcohol. I would want to stay up more, so I would do some cocaine. It wouldn't put me as high as I wanted it to, so then I would smoke meth. But then it would put me too high, so then I would smoke weed, and it would bring me down. And I just fucking did this. I did this.
Damn,
I did this for a year, dude. And then my parents were watching me. They were probably thinking I was crazy. They were probably thinking, like, my son is no longer my son, right? Like, his motherfucker lost his damn mind. My sister was, like, probably heartbroken. Like, damn, like, my brother, look at my brother. Like, fuck, how can we help him, or what's going on here? And I didn't know what the fuck was happening, bro. I had no idea. And I think it's very important for me to tell the public, like, not knowing what was happening probably contributed to a lot of it and made matters that much worse. I think if somebody would have said, like, hey, Hector, like, hey, bro, relax, stop. You went overseas, you saw all this trauma, like, but also another thing that kept me from seeking help was the machismo, bravado, fucking, man, I don't need help. I don't need help. My own ego.
Yeah.
I was so stubborn, I almost fucking died over it.
For sure.
So until I reached out for help at the VA hospital, when I had totaled my truck in 2010.
Okay, so what was your rock bottom?
It depends on what you want to call rock bottom, bro, because my rock bottom was a psych ward, bro. I'm not going to fucking lie. I don't think you get any worse lower.
You ended up in a psych ward?
Yeah.
How'd you end up in a psych ward?
Because I totaled my fucking truck, dude. And my dad said, I'm done with you. You're not my son. You're dead to me. Don't fucking call me. Don't call this family ever again.
Damn.
I'm dropping you off at the VA in La Jolla. We're not hearing from you again. I was done, dude. I was fucking done, bro.
That was it?
I was fucking like, he was not fucking around. Bro, my dad was not fucking around, bro. For me to hear my dad say that, my dad's a very quiet, honorable, respectful man. My fiance at the time had invited me to her friend's wedding. And I said, no, I have to work. But I had called out sick from work and I went to go party instead. So when I totaled my truck, I had to explain to her why I didn't go to work, why I didn't go to the party, and how the fuck I totaled my truck. She was about to leave me. My job was about to fucking fire me.
Are you a correctional officer at this point?
In 2010. So I stopped doing drugs when I got accepted into the CO.
Okay. Which was what year?
2006.
Oh, shit. So you were running hard. So you get...
Hard.
Okay, so that first year out of the Army, that's when you were doing everything with drugs. You ended up, 2006, get hired as a CO, but the drug stop and the alcohol continued.
What's kind of crazy is that I have the common self-respect and dignity to not do drugs when I'm in the military, and I have the common self-respect and dignity not to do drugs in law enforcement. Like, I have that much common sense and, like, ability to not do that.
Yeah, but the drinking is what...
alcohol is what fucking did your boy in, bro.
Before the truck accident, were there other incidents? Because that's a long stretch to be that into alcohol without getting in an accident or arrested.
Here's a funny story. It's not actually funny. 2006. Me and my friends are smoking meth, drinking beer, and we run out of beer. So we say, let's go do a beer run. Let's go to this fucking 7-Eleven. Let's go steal some beer and run out of the store and not pay for it. Right? Okay. I think we had did it earlier that night and we got what we wanted, like 18-pack. Fucking stole 18-pack. We went back to the pad, drank that. So we were going to do the second beer run of the night. My friend is driving. I'm in the back seat of the truck. My other friend, there's three of us, goes in there, runs, fucking takes forever. He's fucking up. And then when he runs out of the store with a case of beer, a CHP officer, California Highway Patrol, is driving and sees the entire thing. He saw everything. And he turns around and flips a U immediately and pulls us over. Immediately. Got caught. And like, I was a smart ass, bro. And they realized, like, fuck, these dudes just did a beer run. Then they book us into jail.
Oh, they arrested all you? And you're a CO at this point?
No. So you're saying, like, what built up? So this incident that I'm telling you right here was the first legal incident as a result of my drinking prior to being a CO.
Okay.
Prior to being a CO. Now, I had the aspirations to be a CO. I had the goal to be a CO, but I was getting in my own way, like my trauma, right? Not to make an excuse, but that was what it was. Yeah. I'm thinking they're going to release us. It's a fucking 18-pack of beer, dude.
Yeah.
They take us to Brawley Police Department. They do the little fucking bullshit. They take us to Imperial County Jail. And I'm just like, well, yeah, like anytime now, like anytime they're just going to fucking open the door, I'm going to get the fuck out of here, right? This was like on a Thursday or like on a Friday, bro. And I'm like, yeah, no big deal, right? Whatever. I'm homeless at this time. I'm homeless. I was not living at my parents' house. I was living at my cousin's house. That's all I'm going to say. There's a lot of drugs around.
Yeah.
And then they fucking put us in this damn dress out room, bro. And they fucking take my personal property and give me some sorry ass jail clothing, man. Fucking
Did it sink in? You knew you weren't going to go anywhere at this
point?
I
was not a happy camper, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what is this? Fuck, you're fucking getting booked. Booked a fucking 18-pack of beer, dude. You guys are tripping, right? Again, not accepting accountability, being immature, young. And then, bro, they opened the dorm. Fucking straight gang members, dude. This is active GP, like, because there was no reason for me to be in protective custody, right? But I'm not a gang member. I'm not a gang member, bro. This is a regular motherfucker. And as soon as we go in, me and my friend Jaime, the shot caller of that dorm, thankfully, was Jaime's cousin. So he goes, Jaime, what up, bro? What are you doing here? Fucking A. Tells his friends, hey, this is my... So we got lucky. When he got lucky, I just happened to be lucky with him.
Yeah.
And then he looks over at me. Oh, he's with me. All right, guys. So they fucking like take my shit. These fucking gangsters, like real gangsters, bro, with the tattoos on their face and their heads. I'm not that, mind you. I just got out of the military, dude. I'm trying to be a CO, bro.
Now you're in jail.
But I also know how to adapt to my environment.
For sure.
So the fucking first thing I do, as dumb as it sounds and as dumb as it is, I took off my shirt and started doing push-ups on the floor, bro. Instantly. My friend looked at me like, what are you doing, bro? Get up.
You're all trying to show everybody how tough or whatever. You didn't know what to do.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so how long did you end up spending in there?
A week.
For a case of beer?
It was horrible.
Before you guys got to see a judge or something?
We did not know that the third guy bailed himself out the first night.
Oh.
We didn't know that.
Okay.
What we got was time served. What we got was time served. There was no judge. And if you look at my record, that shit, like, it's on the record, but it was, like, dismissed. The DA never picked it up.
Okay.
So, like, fuck, dude. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about the jail stuff, but there was drugs in the jail, right?
For sure.
Weed. I mean, for sure there was weed. I know that much for a fact. And, like, I just followed along, like, to not create any waves.
Yeah. Okay, so you get out of there.
So while I'm in jail, bro, because this is what you were asking, there was a payphone on the wall, and I called my dad on the payphone. Because I remember I was not living at home.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, you got your letter from CDCR to go take your written examination? He's like, I don't even think you can get in now with what situation you're in. And I got out of jail on the Monday. I drove to Rancho Cucamonga on Tuesday when I got out of jail to go take the written exam, and I passed to become a CO. When I passed that written exam is when I stopped, like, all fucking drugs, is when I tried to stop drinking. I don't even think I tried. When I got to my medical examination, my liver enzymes were high. And the doctor asked me, like, hey, how much do you drink? And, of course, I lied. I'm like, I don't know, fucking 3 beers a weekend. Oh, well, you need to stop. Like, your shit. But before that was the background investigator, bro. He's like, wait a minute, man. It says here that you were in jail 3 months ago. What's up with that? I said, sir, I could explain everything. He goes, please do. I said, hey, sir, I got out of the Army. Like, I was hanging out with some friends who I thought were my friends, and, like, they got me caught. I kind of said, like, I didn't really throw them under the bus. I'm just like, I was hanging out with friends, and we got arrested, and I no longer hang out with those friends. And he's like, all right, I believe you. You look like a good kid. I'll give you a chance. Like, that's what the dude told me.
Oh, shit.
And he let me in.
Okay.
So then I become a CO.
Mm-hmm.
And I had stopped drinking alcohol on my own because I knew that it was a problem for me. But when I was at the academy, I failed my first examination, and I drank at the strip club. But when I drank, I'm an alcoholic, bro. Like I said, like, for the viewers that understand what being an alcoholic is, there is no just having one beer for me, dude. There's a chemical imbalance, like, in my brain. I was back at it, dude. Back at it. Drinking. Reckless behavior. Untreated post-traumatic stress disorder. And for 3 years, I was a young CO, indulging in alcohol. I had a girlfriend, quote-unquote fiance, who would eventually be my wife, and I put her through hell those 3 years, bro. But she stuck through it. In 2010 is when I totaled my truck, and I went to the VA hospital. And I went to the emergency room. when my dad was there. Luckily, my dad didn't just drop me off and leave like he said he would. He got off the car. He waited right next. I was so scared, bro. I was done. That was my bottom. I had never asked for help before. I adamantly refused to ask for help. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't even know that was like.
Yeah.
And there was a lady behind the counter, and I said, "Hey, ma'am, I need help." She's like, "What's wrong, hun?" I'm like, I don't know. Every time I drink, bad things happen. I have these thoughts. Like, there's something wrong with me. And she's like, "Oh, don't worry." Like, she was very calming and, like, normal, bro, like, soothing. And she's like, "Have a seat. We'll see you right now." Then we go into this office. They start asking me questions. I said, "Man, I have this anxiety because the CHP were looking for me." I fucking totaled my truck and I fled the scene. So they called my job site. They said, "Have you seen this correctional officer? We're looking for him. We found his truck. His truck is totaled. Like, is he okay? Like, we have no idea where this fucking dude is." I was at the VA begging for fucking help. Right? Like.
So you total your truck and fled.
Fled the scene.
Then the cops track you down and you're a correctional officer. So they call your prison. And meanwhile, you checked yourself into the VA.
100%.
Holy shit.
100%.
Is this where they put you in a psych ward?
Yep.
You had no idea what was coming, huh?
It's not that they put me in the psych ward. It's that I'm telling the lady what's wrong with me, right? Or like, these are what happened.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, hun, it sounds like you would be a great candidate to go upstairs." And I'm like,
"Upstairs is for the loony bin, huh?" Yes. You had no idea.
I had no idea, bro. Bro, I'm a gullible motherfucker. I'm there to get help. You're telling me I'm going to get help, right? I'm all for it at this point.
Yeah.
She's like, "You seem like you would be a great candidate to go upstairs. Like, there's people like you there, and we help them." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's why I'm here."
Perfect.
Right? Like,
sign me up.
Yeah. So they're like, "Okay." And they fucking put me in a fucking hospital gown, bro. And they put me in a wheelchair. Like, looking back now, you want to ask me what my bottom is, bro? There's no reason why I should be in a fucking hospital gown and a wheelchair getting wheeled into a psych ward, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm perfectly sane. You know what I mean?
Ish.
But with untreated post-traumatic stress disorder and alcoholism.
Yeah, but that's not sane.
Correct. I'm saying right now I'm perfectly sane.
Yeah. But at the time, I mean, you're obviously probably also thinking that you're sane, but you don't realize what you're battling and what's going on.
I didn't think I was sane back then, bro. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, bro. Yeah. I thought I was a fucking alien. Like, why am I so stupid? Why can't I thought it was immaturity. I thought, like, I'll grow out of this.
Yeah.
There is no growing out of that, bro. You got to treat whatever's going on. So they fucking they will me, and as soon as they and now, mind you, this was voluntarily, right? I was not involuntarily put into a fucking psych ward, for the record. That's a 5150 hold or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I get there, and I'm like, oh, no. Right? There's motherfuckers talking to themselves. There's schizophrenia. There's like...
How long were you in there before you realized it was a psych ward? I mean...
I don't know if I've seen it from movies.
Oh, so it looked the part?
Oh, yeah, bro. Instantly. As soon as the door shut, and when you look back, you're like, why did they just lock that door from the outside?
Yeah, you're like, I can't get out of here.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I'm not a dumb motherfucker. I'm very observant. Yeah. I'm noticing that the door just shut, and then the motherfucker talking to himself in the corner, the homeless-looking motherfucker right there, and then a Marine comes up to me. And he's like around my age, and he says, "Bro, don't get on the pills. Don't get on the pills. Don't get on the pills." And then he fucking walks away. And I'm like, fuck, don't get on the fucking pills, right? That's what he fucking tells me. Oh, I'm like, fuck, dude. I sit on my bed. There's a fucking, like, a sketchy homeless dude doing some inappropriate things on his bed. And I'm like, that's when I say, this is my bottom. That's when I realize, this is where alcohol has led me. This is where alcohol has led me. This is a problem. This is a severe problem. There's something wrong. What's next, right? So, like, bro, like, and mind you, I'm also trying not to get fired from my job. I'm also trying not to lose my fiance. So I was a very selfish person. Mm-hmm. And out of alcoholism, and again, I'm not making excuses, bro. I'm just telling you exactly how it was. When I'm under the influence of alcohol, I become a very selfish person. Manipulative, like liar, cheater, and a thief. Like, what can you do for me, right? I hate it that way. That's not me who I am as a person, right? So I'm sitting there thinking, like, I gotta save my job. I gotta and
How do I get out of this?
How do I get out of this? How do I keep my wife? And my dad kept telling me, like, don't worry about your job. Don't worry about your job. I'm taking care of it, because he was also a correctional officer at the same exact prison.
So you had some pull.
He spoke to the warden on my behalf.
Okay.
And thank God.
Okay.
That warden at the time gave me a chance.
Okay.
But for the people that are trying to, like, get better now, I totally understand of why you want to fix everything first and foremost instead of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a design that you're trying to distract yourself. But the reality was that I needed to work on myself. I needed to look inward. Mm-hmm. And I had never in my freaking life had done that.
So what help did you get?
So they give you this card. And on the card it says, while you're in here, it's called 2 South, bro. 2 South in the VA in La Jolla. There's 2 North, which is the mental health wing. There's 2 South, which is a psych ward. There's 2 West, which was the rehab for alcohol, which I would eventually go to 2 West. So basically, it's the second floor of the VA with the hallways, and each one is designated for. I was in fucking 2 South, bro. I'll never forget that. So they fucking give you a slip of paper that says, what do you want to take advantage of while you're in here? And one of the little boxes said meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I was so fucking broken. I'm like, well, I might have a problem with alcohol.
Oh, you still didn't even realize it.
I still didn't even realize it, bro.
Dang.
But I figured, like, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Might as well
just check the block.
Yep.
And I checked the block, dude. Next day, they say, hey, Hector, come over here, right? They're separating the groups, and I fucking go. In the group is a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, bro. My first one ever. It was 2010. There's a table. There's a man speaking. He has 12 years of sobriety. I didn't even think 12 years of sobriety was a fucking possible, bro. Because I couldn't even string along. Definitely not 12 days, bro. Like, I couldn't keep sobriety. Like, I wouldn't even. And he shares the story. He says, hey, my name is so-and-so. You know, when I used to drink, I used to get in fights. When I used to be destructive. I used to self-sabotage. And I'm like, bro, like, I used to crash cars. I used to go to jail. I used to disappoint my family. And I'm like, that's me, right? Like, that's me. And like, he's like, and now I have 12 years of sobriety. Like, and I'm like, whatever this is, I need it. I want it. This is for me. Like, and I just been with the program for 15 years now, bro. Like, currently sitting here, I have 15 years of sobriety.
Good for you.
Thank you.
And you got to keep your job.
I got to keep my job. I got to keep my wife, even though we're currently separated.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful 7-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And I repaired the relationship with my family through what I call a living amends. Meaning, like, because I would, I would just want to apologize all the time for saying, I'm sorry, I was a piece of shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, because I also, right after the psych ward, I went into a 20-day inpatient rehab.
Oh, okay.
For substance abuse and mental illness.
Okay.
So I learned about alcoholism and I learned about post-traumatic stress disorder. So I've actually have been working on myself since the year 2010, bro. We're now in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
I learned all about trauma, loss, grief, the brain, how it rewires, dopamine, cortisol. Everything is fucking scientific, bro. Spiritual wounds. I got to keep my job, and when I got sober, things started getting better, bro. I promoted a sergeant.
Let's get into the corrections, because we got shit. We're 2 hours in. I want to cover some correctional shit. So, get to keep your job. Everything's great there. You clean up. You clean up sobriety. You get clean. Get off alcohol. Things start looking better. I want to get into the depths of correctional facility. So you've worked at 2 different ones. What was the first one based around?
Centinela State Prison. That was based around gangsters, gang members.
Let's talk about that. What's it like working in a prison just full of gang members?
Oh, it's fucking great.
Why?
Structure.
How?
They police their own, or they should police their own, or for the most part, they police their own.
Really?
Meaning that everybody should quote unquote be acting like an adult. Yes. Now that was back in 2006, 2007. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, generational changes. But you're asking me, what was it like to work in a prison full of gangsters?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking, did the dream fucking come true?
Really?
Well, a young motherfucker like me who loves adrenaline, and when you see a 200-man race riot, the way California is set up is the inmates, they separate themselves by race. Okay. So you'll have the whites, you'll have the blacks, you'll have the Mexicans, which are the sureños, where I was at the time down south, and then the paisas. Oh, but then you have the others, which are native, or the others are Samoans, Asians, etc.
Okay.
So when the rule is, when one gets involved in an altercation with another race, everybody has to get involved. So it'll just explode. So you'll see like chaos erupt.
Do you know, as a correctional officer, do you know when something's about to pop off?
It can happen for various reasons.
Okay. There
can definitely be where you know about it, and the way it can be is like, you understand, as a correctional officer, you should know what is happening, who is who, and once you learn how to read the environment, or you can feel it with your sixth sense, you can observe.
What are you looking for?
Okay, so if you're looking for, like, if I just common sense, to me now it's common sense. If I see two men, I can distinguish whether the two men are having a casual conversation, or whether they're in a disagreement, or whether they're in a heated disagreement, or whether they're about to go to blows. Right? That's just a small example of how I can read, how a person could read.
Yeah.
Reading something, right? But you also got to know about like their internal drug trade, right? And you're going to find out information various ways. You might have inmates that tell you, or you might have inmates that have a rapport with another officer. They might tell them, here's an example. Hey, CO, like, the blacks owe the Mexicans money, and the Mexicans are pissed that the blacks won't pay. That's enough to let us know, oh, dude, they're going to collect. And by collect, they're going to fucking, like, stab, kill, riot. You know what I mean? Like, at that time. So it's like, yeah, you got to put together the pieces. They're not going to straight up tell you. Sometimes they will. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, there's a fucking green light on cops. Like, they're going to hit you guys.
No shit.
But we already know. Let's say I'm patting a Mexican inmate down and I slam him on his fucking face for no apparent reason. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that the rest of the inmates are going to be pissed off and are going to retaliate. You know what I mean? So some things are kind of self-explanatory.
How often is there retaliation on correctional officers in the prison?
It's an excellent freaking question. More often than not. I'll just say that. And when I say that, I'm saying from 2006 to 2026, more often than not.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, if something doesn't go their way, we're going to know about it.
Yeah.
Because they're inmates, right? Like, they don't have the coping skills. And again, I'm not making excuses for them, and they're all in there for various crimes, but I've learned a lot about gangsters, man. I've learned a lot about gang members. Okay. They just went a different trajectory. They've also experienced trauma. Right?
Oh, for sure.
So their coping skills are to act out to violence, to steal shit, to engage in reckless behavior, to feel like they're part of a brotherhood by joining the gang. So, bro, when you're dealing with these young motherfuckers or impulsive motherfuckers that don't give a fuck, at that point in time, the laws in California were if you had life in prison, you were not going to parole no matter what. And everybody knew it, bro. Like, everybody knew it.
Are those the scariest dudes? Are the guys that are in prison with no parole, are they the scariest ones, or like because they have nothing to lose?
The young ones at that time.
The young lifers, or just really?
The young lifers.
They're just in there just trying to prove a name or something?
Yeah, we call them torpedoes. They're a fucking torpedo, bro. Like, you're a young lifer. What do you have? You think about it. You're young, you're impulsive, your mind hasn't fully developed yet. They haven't reached the age of 26. I'm talking about these dudes were 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old killers, 21-year-old killers. Which was perfect for me because I was a fucking 22-year-old killer from the Army. Yeah. So I like that environment when it's structured and controlled.
Okay.
And contained and secured and safe for the most part. The older lifers, no, they're pleasant to be around with. You know why they're pleasant? Because they've already realized this is my home.
And are they more of the shot callers?
At the time when I first started the department, the shot callers were all locked away in Pelican Bay State Prison and in Corcoran Prison for 23 hours a day. 1 hour they would get yard.
No shit.
it was a unique time frame that I was in CDCR. Excuse me. They were sending little notes from the main from Pelican Bay to all the prisons throughout the state of California. How? In their buttholes, in their cheek, they would write tiny kite letters, like micro letters. They get real. So just how the Iraqi people were not dumb, they were very intelligent in what they did, creating bombs. These inmates are not dumb, bro. They're very intuitive, and if they put their mind to the right thing, they can accomplish a lot.
Yeah, they got nothing but time.
Exactly. So small writing. Now this is before the cell phone trend, right?
Okay.
Word of mouth, letters, 3-way letters. So let's say you're a shot caller, and you want to relay a message to me, and I'm your soldier
in a different prison.
In a different prison.
Okay.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna tell your wife, "Hey, get at my homie Smiley. I'll tell him I want this done in coded word. Cool. Write him a letter. You send the letter, but it's actually coming from you. So I'll get the letter. It says, hey nephew, because that's what the terms they use, nephew or tío, uncle. Hey nephew, hope you're doing okay. Yeah, just so you know, you do have my approval to drive my car. They use terminologies like approval to drive the car or driver's license. That you have their authority. You have their blessing to conduct business on their behalf. On behalf of the Mexican Mafia. Oh, this is the example that we're using. The Mexican Mafia with a shot caller in Pelican Bay. So phones, visits, coded letters, coded words. They had at the time what was called a mesa system, which was your shot caller. There was a bloquero, so a shot caller for the building, a llavero. It was pretty much a fucking, my friend Rene Boxer Enriquez, ad hoc committee of, the thing is, let me tell you how crazy it was. 2007, 2008, 2009, all gang leaders were in the SHU, Security Housing Unit.
Okay.
You had a committee of 5 inmates per yard running the yard. Lifers were not going home. So the violence was fucking awful, bro. The violence was like, nobody was playing around. It was big boy rules.
Okay, so when a race war breaks out, what is protocol for you guys as a correction officer? Are you letting it, what do you guys do when a race war breaks out on the yard?
So we have a thing called like alarm response.
Okay.
It's a procedure.
Okay.
And we have a lot of tools in the California Department of Corrections at our disposal. We have OC pepper spray. We even have a super soaker looking pepper spray that can shoot extremely far. It's like a canister.
Yep.
We have 40 millimeter less lethal, which is the size of a 203 round, but it's a hard Nerf sponge which will fucking kill you, because I've seen it kill an inmate.
Really?
Yes. Hit him in the head, hit him in the temple. The inmate was running across the yard, running from the officers, ran in front of the observation hit him, boom, started flopping like a fish, got put on life support. They pulled the life support, he died. That's a fact.
No shit.
I mean, that shit's coming out, bro, like fucking faster than a baseball.
Getting hit with a baseball, for sure.
But there's also the wooden baton rounds where it's a cylinder, and there's like these little wooden cylinders, wooden blocks. Dude, I can't remember whether there's 3 or 5. But you're supposed to, quote unquote, skip them off the ground so that if I skip it in front of you, they all like hit you.
Nah.
We weren't skipping them, bro. So
hell no.
We also have an expandable baton.
Okay.
Physical force if you want to grab somebody and throw them on the ground. Oh, grenades. These were newer though. Like all this shit came like the grenades. It's OC blast. So it's pepper sprayed in the powder form. So when you like pop it, it's like poof, like talcum powder. It's OC. We also had like the gas one, CN gas. I mean, you know what the difference between CN and CS. We had the CN, and just right before I resigned, we got CS on the line, bro, which is fucking amazing. I mean, because, dude, we know how bad CS fucking sucks, bro. I feel like you're dying.
Uh-huh.
So one time I was in a dorm up in the gym gun, up in the catwalk with a Mini 14 rifle and the 40 millimeter less lethal. And there was 100 inmates on bunk beds, and I had 4 officers, partners on the floor with them on a podium. and I had a partner up at the top. We had double the amount of staff at that moment because they were attacking staff during that whole entire month.
Okay.
So I'm not going to lie, bro. I was taking a little cat nap. I was shutting my eyes, bro, taking a little siesta. And all of a sudden I hear like, oh, shit. This is like 5 p.m., bro. And I hear banging. I fucking jump up. I grab the 40 because it was resting against the fucking thing. Mm-hmm. And I look down. Oh, dude, the whole place erupted. It was a black versus Mexican riot. 100 motherfuckers, bro, going at it. It was a 50 on 50, fighting everywhere. By the latrine area, in between the bunks, in the it fell. Oh, fuck, dude. I just started shooting. Bah, bah, just picking groups. Da, da. I'm not skipping shit, bro. Da, da, da. I'm shooting both races because the blacks inmates would eventually file a complaint saying that I was only shooting black inmates.
Of course. Of course.
I'm glad you said of course, bro. I'm glad you said of course. Oh, no, I'm not crazy, right?
Yeah, of course. They started gang war. There's wars going on, and then you're singling them out. Like, how do you single somebody out in a giant riot?
But for a fact, I know I was shooting Mexicans, bro. I know that for a fucking fact, dude, because I shot one 100%, bro, because there was one in the corner. Because I was on one, bro. Like, I said, if I see your fucking eyes, I'm going to shoot you. I better not see your eyes. And the stupid asshole looked up, bro.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, dude. Again, I was young and fucking stupid, bro. Yeah. This is why I try to give advice to young correctional officers. Like, hey, bro, don't try to be cool. Like, don't knock off the dumb shit, bro, because I've done dumb shit, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, was I within policy? I would say I was within policy. I gave the motherfucker a direct order and fucking...
Yeah.
I thought he was going to pop back up because they do pop up during riots. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I shot the dude in the fucking back, bro, with a fucking 40 millimeter less lethal. There was that one, and I've been involved in probably like 4 or 5 what are called Code 3 riots. So to answer your question, the job of the correctional officer is to quell the violence through means of use of force or verbal de-escalation if possible, secure the area, bring in first aid, medical, right, because they're not going to come in until the scene is secured. Mm-hmm. And what you're going to have is you're going to have individuals that have either been shot with a Mini-14 Ruger rifle if needed, stab wounds, numerous stab wounds, lacerations, because the inmates will put locks in socks or batteries and just like, fucking David and Goliath. Pick up like bunk beds and just throw shit, broomsticks, broom handles. It's fucking like probably as close as to like fucking like what do they call that? What do they call that shit? Like barbaric.
Yeah.
It's probably as close to like barbarism, barbaric shit back then. We're on California is out of control and violent right now, but it's a whole different level of violence right now.
Okay, so these guys have nothing but time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that talking to correctional officers, like these inmates have we want to look at inmates as that they're just these people they're criminals and all this other shit, but they have nothing but time on their hands. Do you see like a shift in an inmate versus a correctional officer as far as like learning and trying to better themselves? Because you're in there as a job, they're in there as their life.
Yeah.
Or do some of these guys like start trying to educate themselves and learning things and like as far as structure and not as far as like bettering themselves, but learning?
They better themselves, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah. Not like what I'm about to say is probably going to shock the world and probably piss off some of my former coworkers.
Okay.
But you got to understand, dude, I'm at a level of enlightenment now and understanding and psychological understanding, being 3 years away from that filth.
Okay.
From that corrupt system and machine, because that's exactly what it is.
For sure.
It's a machine that warehouses men, takes advantage of the justice system. Mind you, these men committed crimes. Yeah. Ain't nobody denying that. Not even them. They'll rightfully raise their hand and say, I committed a crime. Mm-hmm. But the way the system is designed to screw everybody over at the bottom and make the ones at the top rich. With that being said, I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You have now I don't want to say any blanket statements or stereotypes, but this is my experience. If you look at the group of correctional officers and the group of inmates. Inmates are way more educated in philosophy, in history, in education, in knowledge, as far as like, any spirituality, Buddhism. Oh, that motherfucker will read the Quran. You have a Mexican dude read the Quran just so that he can know what the Quran is. Like, and you said they have nothing but time. So it's not really knocking the COs. In a way it is, because it's like, hey, dude, you are a correctional officer. You make $150,000 a year. You can go to any gym in the world, yet you refuse to work out. This guy has nothing. And he's over here doing handstand push-ups in his cell. Mm-hmm. Tell me which one has more discipline.
Okay.
So let's talk about discipline. Let's talk about knowledge. Let's talk about education and wisdom.
So those dudes are just on it.
They're on it, bro. The fucked up thing. And again, this is not the stereotype, because, of course, you have some dudes that are scumbags and up to no good.
For sure.
But you also have correctional officers that are scumbags and up to no good. I need the world to see. And again, I'm very spiritual. I think God sent me here to show the people the truth. It doesn't matter if you're a correctional officer or you're an inmate. If you're a good person, you're a good person. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. And I think, like, the world needs to know that. I think people get caught up in titles.
Oh, for sure.
Ego, perceived power, positions. Mm-hmm. You already know, bro. Mm-hmm. You already know. I feel that I've been given the voice to speak up on behalf of the righteous, the people that need it. I host my own podcast. Yeah. I've spoken to numerous former lifers. Do you understand the level of gratitude that those men have? They were put away in a box for 25 years, 30 years, with no hope of ever getting out. And now they're out here, bro, eating ice cream with me at the beach. Like, that's a thing, bro. Yeah. Eating ice cream, chilling, posted up, feeling the fresh air, right? Now, I'm not
an animal for 20 years.
Now, I'm not a dummy, right? I'm not going to allow myself to be manipulated. But my interaction that I've had with these men has been authentic, bro. And 100% like on the up and up. And that's just the reality of it. And I just need the world. And it's interesting that we're talking about this, because what does the media like to do? They like to create chaos. They like to create division. They like to create division between the left and the right. They like to fuel the flames.
So, as a correctional officer, dealing with gang members that are in there for life, did you ever come across dudes that were just genuinely good dudes that just made one bad decision and threw their whole life away?
When you say one bad decision, we're talking murder, bro.
Yeah.
We're talking murder.
Yeah.
But we're talking murder, right? And I know, and I'm not God to be able to judge people.
Sure.
And I sure wouldn't in the hell like one of my family members to be the victim of a murder.
Yeah.
And then me, so I don't have that experience, right? But there are men that have committed the act of murder that were entirely respectful the entire duration of my employment, and then they got out and they're thriving out here in society.
The reason I ask that question is because you know how women are. They're all in like murder mysteries and all that shit. And you watch the news and you just obviously pay attention to whatever is going on out there. The reason I ask that question is because there are like acts of passion. There's a dude that...
Okay.
There's things that happen where you end up murdering somebody, but it's not like you're a...
Okay. If I'm a man and I go and I murder somebody that didn't have it coming, that would be kind of a scumbag thing to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But in a lot of the majority or the cases that I'm speaking about, you have a guy from one gang, you have another guy from an opposing gang. They live in Los Angeles. They live on two separate blocks. They fucking indoctrinated into their own beliefs of gang system. They cross paths.
They have to do something.
One of them's quicker on the trigger. He blasts them out of his fucking socks. Dead. Boom. Gone.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that any different than fucking George Bush sending me to Iraq and pinning me against the Iraqi people who had fucking nothing against me? It's the same shit, bro. We were both victims of a fucking giant organization.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that's not to say, now I use the word victim, right? Like, people can say, Hector, nobody has the right to kill another person. What I'm saying is young men do dumb shit. Young men are driven by testosterone, right? And they're like little fucking torpedoes, bro. Mm-hmm. You got to guide them. That's how I feel about that.
Was there ever, okay, so as a correctional officer, contraband's a big thing. what these guys, they do crazy things. There's all kinds of stuff going on in these prisons. So as a correctional officer, what was something that you turned a blind eye to?
For the record, I didn't turn a blind eye to shit, for the record.
Okay.
Right? For the record.
Yeah.
Right? Inmates tattooing.
Okay.
Yeah, if I come across it, I was just like, hey, dude, what are you doing? Like, they should have the common respect not to do it in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Possibly if I smell the aroma of marijuana, it's kind of like, really? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go and fucking like I'm going to go and turn the whole building upside down if I smell some marijuana. And now it all depends, bro. It all depends on how I feel that fucking day. If they've been assholes, right? It's and we talked about this. It's pros versus cons. If the building is acting up and these fucking guys are out of control, oh, you got to crack the whip, bro. You got to be Big Daddy. You know what I mean? It's like parenting. It's extremely like parenting. I have a 7-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
But they understand that. They understand that. I think they welcome security because right now they're living in a time where nobody is safe. Not the COs, not them.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty common knowledge that, like, if they leave you alone, you could leave them alone.
It's a respect thing.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be there for 16 hours. They got to be there forever.
Okay, so I ask a lot of correctional officers this.
Do it.
Who runs the prisons?
Administration. That's a fact. Because you have three parts. You have the administration that wear the suit and ties in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. You have the COs, the correctional officers, the line, and then you have the inmates. Right now in 2026, administration is playing everybody with the funding of the union, of the correctional officers union.
Okay.
So they're funding their own demise. Now, I bet what you're asking is like, who runs the facilities? Like, who's more dangerous or who has the last say-so? Right now is a real peculiar time because you have all the gang leaders from Mexican Mafia, from Nuestra Familia, from Aryan Brotherhood, from the Black Guerrilla family on all the main lines, meaning at all the prisons. In 2014, they kicked them out. They won a lawsuit to release them from the lockdown. So they're all in every fucking prison, bro. They're walking. They have an entourage. They have 6 gangsters armed security. And I say armed because they got fucking knives up their butt. That's a fact. Everywhere they go, they go. The Mexican Mafia takes a shower. You'll have a dude fucking posted up right there, hands him his towel, hands him his shower bag, hands him his sandals. That's a fucking thing, bro. The thing is that everybody knows that when it kicks off, it's going to kick off with everybody.
So how is that
They have power.
Yeah, okay. So the inmates have
I don't want to sound like a fucking dick, bro, but I don't give a fuck because I know there's a Mini 14 up in the tower.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about power all day long. But, again, we're in 2026 where the correctional officers have been neutered. They refuse to use the Mini 14. That's a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say about these?
Well, because I feel if you have these Mexican cartel, you got the blacks, the whites, and they're able to just, I don't want to say move freely, but I mean.
They move freely.
They move freely. So then the COs are just, hey, we have this respect. Don't cross our line. We don't cross your line. How are these guys? I mean, because they're obviously getting weapons into the prison. They're getting drugs into the prison. They're getting phones into the prisons. They're getting everything that they want from the outside in anyways. How are they not, like, how do you not look at it as that they're not calling shots inside of a prison? Just because you got admin up here, they're like, you guys need to crack down or not. Then you got the COs. But if these dudes have gang rank and affiliation.
It would be fair to your viewers to give them a current view and standpoint.
Okay.
Answering your question. Let's look at the police on the streets. You had the whole George Floyd riots.
Yeah.
You had protests. You had police chiefs throwing their police officers under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
You had mayors of cities throwing their police officers in the bus. We knew there was fucking crime going on, but what happened? The police were not responding to crime. Remember they said defund the police? It's the same fucking shit. We can use CDCR as a microcosm. We can use corrections as a microcosm for the big world.
Okay.
Think about the border. You have a border, in southern border, Mexico. You have a wall. Well, when the previous president was there, motherfucker, we're waltzing right across with backpacks by the hundreds, by the thousands, by the millions. We get a new president, we stop the border. That didn't change anything, right? There's still the law. There's still crime. So they're in a fucked up position, the COs, but they refuse to help themselves. They're in a fucked up position because of course, there's drugs. There people are overdosing every single day, dude, dying of overdoses.
In the prison?
In the prison. There is so much fentanyl in prisons.
How are they getting it in?
There is unlimited amount of fentanyl in prisons and bath salts and spice. This is the way contraband comes in through prisons.
Yeah, how are they bringing stuff in?
Dirty staff members, whether it's correctional officers, medical staff, volunteers. Visits. You know, like in the movies, like the lady visitor can come in, she'll bring dope, smuggle it in her butt. She goes to the restroom, she takes it out, he puts it in his butt, he goes back to the yard. That's how it comes in. Drones. In 2026, drone drops. So like you saw Ukraine, right? Like they drop grenades.
Yeah.
They'll make a bundle. They'll make like this loaf of bread right here, dude. They'll drop that in the middle of the yard, but inside it's cell phones, tobacco, fentanyl, phone chargers, lighters. You want to know what the scary thing is? You don't think you could fit a fucking Glock 26 in that thing?
Oh, no shit. Has there ever been a gun smuggled into prison?
There was an attempt at Pelican Bay, but dude, it's just a fucking matter of time before all hell breaks loose, bro.
What was the scariest part about being a correctional officer in a gang unit?
I think since like you framed that question that way, I think it would have to be the rules of the Southern Hispanic Mexicans, the sureños, who function under the Mexican mafia.
Okay.
Their set of rules dictates that if one of them gets involved in an altercation with a CO, they're all mandated to get involved. So that's a scary fact, knowing that if I fight one of them, I'm going to have to fight 100 of them.
Oh, okay.
They have a saying. You mess with one bean, you get the whole burrito. That's their saying, bro.
Oh, shit.
So it's a fucking scary feeling, you know? You can't win against 100, bro.
No.
But that's why verbal communication and de-escalation and using your brain is the best tool you can have.
I feel you don't last very long as a young, hothead correctional officer.
You won't get your fucking, you'll get stomped the fuck out, or you'll get your partner stomped out. Hothead doesn't work, bro. How are you going to tell me hothead? Now, are there COs that are hothead? Yes.
They get checked, though?
Hopefully and preferably, right? Hopefully your own people, other COs will check you, or sometimes the inmates will check you, but let me be realistic. How can you be a hothead correctional officer in a prison when you have 3,000 hothead killers? Who the fuck are you? Yeah. Just because you have a fucking cloth badge, bro? Yeah. Knock it off. Who the fuck are you fooling, dude? And we talked about this, the pretend fake guys. God forbid you go to prison, work in a prison being a pretend fake guy.
Oh, like a pretend tough guy?
You're going to get exposed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can't pretend to be something you're not in prison. You're going to get exposed. You got to know how to navigate that environment, dude. It's a mixture of discipline, structure, respect, little bit of give and take within reason, within the law, right? Because ultimately you're operating from the law and from an oath.
What's the most bizarre thing that you saw in there?
Probably like man with breast implants.
Really?
Yeah, bro, double
Did they get them done in prison?
Sometimes. Now they do. Taxpayer money. Thank you.
Taxpayer money is getting these dudes breast augmentations?
So I think it's important for your viewers to know that California has lost their damn minds years ago, and taxpayer money has been going to sex realignment surgery for inmates, facelifts, nose jobs, breast implants.
And taxpayers are paying for this.
Taxpayer money, bro. You want to hear something amazing? I'll tell you something amazing right now. If I'm a woman identifying as a man, an inmate, right? I'm going to get testosterone paid for by the taxpayers of California. And when I asked the current officer, hey, bro, he's like, not only that, they inject once and they throw away the whole vial. They get a new vial for every shot. Oh, you got to be kidding me, dude. The males get hormone shots on taxpayer money.
This is This is when I hear shit like this, and especially in California, when people are like, "Oh, our state." You fucking vote for this shit. Like, these people vote for this, and they vote these leaders into these states, and now they're tax paying. This is why I don't understand why we pay taxes. Like,
because it comes from I need you to know that all this corruption comes from the governor level, but even above him, right? Because he's being told.
They're making money.
And then they get the puppet in charge of the correctional department, and then he enforces the bullshit.
Bro, I'm over here thinking like, we had a correctional CO on, and he was talking about how they all get iPads, and that.
They all get iPads.
That to me was mind-boggling that we're paying for iPads, and you're telling me these motherfuckers are getting sex changes in prison.
So you and I first started this correction topic talking about gangsters and riots, right?
Yeah.
We've come a long way, my friend. We've come a long way. These guys have iPads, taxpayer money, wind-up radios. They have TVs. They don't even go to the hole no more. Remember, isolation was a thing. If you mess up, you go to the hole.
Yeah.
They don't go to the hole no more, bro. They changed the rules completely.
Where do they go?
They stay put. They stay put.
So if they do something, they don't.
If they get caught with a knife, they stay put. When in the past, they would go to the hole. Do you know what that encourages? Escalation of bad behavior. Do you realize how many times an inmate has gotten caught with a knife, nothing happened to him, so the next day he murdered somebody? I have documentation on all of that.
How does that help? So, okay, so not everybody in this prison is doing life, correct?
Correct.
So how are we rehabilitating?
It's a facade.
How are we helping these inmates become a better person to be able to function in society?
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna blow your mind right now. Rehabilitation in California prison is being sold as a facade and a guise for money laundering.
How?
Oh, easy. My name is Bree Williams. I'm the director. I'm the CEO of Amend. Okay? In my dumb head, I come up with a bright idea that I want to emulate the Norwegian correctional setting, and I want to implement it in California. I'm going to give a lot of money to Governor Newsom to make it happen. Governor Newsom's going to tell Jeff McCumber, the secretary, hey, make this happen. Well, I got you, boss. Now, what did that consist of? Everything we just spoke about. Giving them iPads, giving them radios, not letting them go to AdSec. When I resigned, I saw this coming. They were encouraging correctional officers to play sports with the inmates, to be the inmates' friends, to play soccer with them, to play dominoes with them.
Okay, I mean, does that make a better work environment for you guys and a better environment for the inmates? Like, everybody's happy now?
Until they slash you in the fucking throat.
I mean, that's where my mind would go to it. But, like, what's the psychology behind it? What's the motive? Like, how does that help intermingling COs and inmates?
Well, I just told you it was it was money laundering sold as rehabilitation.
So are these guys like implementing these programs in these California prisons, and then they get funding for it, but they're not actually fucking doing anything?
100%. And federal funding.
And
now think about this: if it wasn't for me, then who the fuck would have known about it? Nobody, because this has been going on for a long fucking time. So how is corruption able to get away with? Because nobody fucking speaks up. Nobody stops the machine.
Okay, so in California, how are we actually helping inmates become a better person?
Now, I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy and be all. They have a program they have a dog program. It's called a pooch program, where they bring in dogs to the prison. The inmates train the dogs, and they would eventually get given as service dogs to like people with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, or like seizures. Okay, which I think that program's amazing. Okay. And it's effective. Okay. And I know former lifers that have been in the program. So that's its own separate program, right? And that's what I'm saying. It's like the corruption is what got out of control with the bulk of the BS.
Where's the corruption in the correctional facility coming from? Clearly the top, but how is it? Because how my mind works is like just a civilian looking at the correctional facilities as a scam. It's a numbers game. The more people they have in beds, the more federal funding they're getting. So
but one more thing. If I allow fentanyl to come in and they are all overdosing, then my friend No, I should say this. My Uncle Billy, who created Narcan, I can now sell Narcan to the California Department of Corrections and give the inmates Narcan. Now, I'm Governor Newsom. That happens to be my Uncle Billy. Funny how everything, they say follow the money, right?
Everything's tied.
Everything's tied, bro. All this homelessness, everything they're manufacturing. Now, I probably sound like a conspiracy theorist to a lot, but it's the reality of it. You said if they wanted to stop the drugs, they could slow it down. Why? Why when they can make money off of the Narcan? Inmates are on, what is that called? Suboxone? They're also on like that methadone, where they kind of scale them off of the dope. All of these are all programs within the California Department of Corrections.
But you're all getting funding.
Funding. At the expense of what?
Taxpayers.
But at the real expense of taxpayer money, but at the lives of the inmates. And the safety of the officers. So just recently, last week, at the California Institute for Women in Chino, you had 13 correctional officers over a span of 1 week come in contact with an unknown substance that made them fucking pass out and go get taken out by an ambulance. And administration did nothing about it. They're
inmates or COs?
COs. They don't know if it was fentanyl. They don't know what it was, but there was something going around that prison that was making these officers like pass out. But the inmates were also overdosing too. So the inmates were overdosing. The officers would respond, and then they fucking go out, bro.
What the fuck would that have been? Okay, speaking of female officers, did you ever work with a bunch?
Yes.
What's that like? Me personally, I don't think women should be in a male prison. There's no... this is just my, I guess you could say, ignorant mind behind it, because that's no place... Like, how's a woman going to help anything that's going on physical between two dudes? I feel like that's just more of a liability, especially if that's your partner. Say you're getting jumped by two gang members. What is a female officer? I guess she could spray you down. I don't get it, right? That's just my opinion. I feel the same with cops. I talk about it.
Cops 100%.
I don't think women should be on the road. Yeah, so that's where a lot of that leads to. Okay, so now you have this guy that's captured. Doing a cell extraction? How is a woman going to get me out of a cell? Right? How are 15 women going to get me out of a cell? Right. Unless they are tasing, pepper spraying, and using every legitimate escalation of force to get me out of there. Working with women, what was that like dealing with female COs?
It wasn't as bad as you're making it seem.
Okay, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad.
I'm comparing it to female cops on the road, and we see...
No, but also, like, my experience being in the Army infantry, 0 women.
Same. Yeah.
And I love the fact that it was 0 women.
No drama.
They don't need to be there at all.
Yeah.
Right? No drama for nobody. No drama for the men, no drama for the women.
Yep.
You focus on killing the enemy, period. When it comes to the prison, bro, especially me being a lieutenant, it's almost like the politically correct version of me wants to speak, even though I'm not a politically correct person at all.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. But I had this theory in my head one time, and I told myself, we can't all be hard-headed like hitters. We can't all be alpha male COs because that will be too much conflict between the inmate population and between the COs.
Okay.
And I told myself, sometimes I think we need the lame COs, right? I'm not saying that the women are lame. I'm just saying I think we need a
more gentle approach.
Yeah, like females, I think, because maybe they can calm a situation. Maybe just their like pheromones up in the air will like diffuse a situation. Possibly.
But I feel like pheromones in the air can also increase the situation. If you got some chick walking around with perfume on.
That happens. That, bro, they dress. Yeah, that happens.
Was overseas, bro. You'd smell a chick after being.
So, again, I don't do stereotypes and I don't do blanket statements. I've worked with some solid females, but I've also worked with some worthless females. Same about the men. I've worked with some solid men. 100%. I've also worked with some worthless men. Do I feel that females is such... I'll tell you what I do not agree with. This whole 30 by 30 law enforcement push by recruiters to hire more women for the sake of politically looking good. Like all law enforcement agencies in the United States, they're pushing to hire more females to be gender equality. That is what I don't agree with. I'm a realist, bro. Mm-hmm. Again, how many videos have we seen on YouTube of the female cop with her pink fingernails letting the fucking suspect have his way? Mm-hmm. Taking the car, stealing the police car, slapping her around, taking her gun, manhandling these women. Happens all the time. We see it all the time.
Did you ever have
DEI.
any? Exactly. Well, now that hopefully that's all gone. Did you ever have any female correctional officers get caught hooking up with inmates?
Yeah. In a span of 16 years, 2 hands. 2 hands.
What happens to them when they get caught?
It all varies on their level of, if they're bringing in drugs, that's illegal, right? Technically, having sexual affairs with a male inmate is also illegal because there is nothing consensual in prison. There's nothing consensual.
Okay.
So ultimately, it's like they build a case against them, and then they get caught up, and then they'll either quit or they'll get fired.
They don't get like arrested? Really?
No,
what would happen if a dude was working in a female prison and got caught having...
You just got one sentence to, what's the dude, 100 years? A California male correctional officer just got sentenced to 100 years in prison within this past year for allegations of having his way with female inmates. That's a fact.
But females get a chance to retire?
You already know what time it is, bro. I'm not here. You don't want this version of Hector. People already think I hate women, but that's not the case. I'm a realistic type of guy.
Well, that's why I'm asking, bro. I mean, people have listened to the show long enough. Like, I speak my voice. I mean, I'm a girl dad, right? So are you.
Me too.
You're a fucking girl dad.
100%.
So it's not like I'm not over here being some like male chauvinistic.
I'm
just very not passionate, but I stand on that hill of like, there's roles and there's positions for men and women. Like,
yeah, the kitchen for
I
the
think,
females.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but like, I think females would probably be a better detective because they could dig shit up that dudes would overlook when it comes to.
You know what pisses me off?
Huh?
The fucking favoritism when it comes to women in law enforcement.
Military, bro.
You can have
that
a
shit
female.
Me in the military.
Oh, bro, I've seen some bullshit, man.
Yeah.
You can have a female with 4 months in the department get put in an investigative unit, like gangs and stuff, and she will get picked over a solid go-getter, dude. That's what's frowned upon.
Yeah, that shit.
And you have all these lame supervisors that like. They don't know how to get women in real life, so they use that as a flex.
Uses their power to try to
hook them up.
Did you see it every day?
I don't like. That's what I don't agree with.
I saw it in the Marines, dude. When I left my job and went up to the division, went to Super Pogue Land. That's when I started working with women, and dude, it was like I got snatched up for snatching these young female. They'd walk and be like, "Hey, Sergeant." I've never had one of my troops ever hey me in my life, like.
They said like, hey, like, all cool.
And then one of them come walking in my office one day, and she's like, hey, and it was like the fuse burn.
What happens if a male says, hey?
Oh, we're going out back. We're fucking going to have rounds. This chick walks in my office. It was hayed me, and I went like straight drill instructor on this chick. Her sergeant came down and was like, we need to have a conversation. And I was like, about fucking what? She's like, well, I don't like how you address my oh, dude. And then I let her have it, and she got her, and it just escalated. So every time someone would come back down, I just went. Anyways, that's where like I noticed, like I was like, holy shit, these chicks get to say whatever they want because there was these weak ass dudes,
yeah, 100%.
These little simps that thought this little female Marine was hot, gets to work with her, so they would allow it. And I would look at these dudes like, do you let your PFCs do say the same shit, or what? Why does she get to get away with it? So I've noticed that through all careers in all fields that there is a huge favoritism that come with.
So if you need confirmation that that's transpiring within the California Department of Corrections, 100%.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's part of the problem, bro. It's part of the problem. You can't put incompetent people in like important spots. But I mean, look at the secretary. Look at the head person of CDCR. He's a male. The dude's dumb as rocks. Spineless. Again, it just doesn't matter if you're male or female. It's just whether you're a good person or an evil person.
What was one of the most violent things that you saw in prison? What was one of those things that just you were like, holy shit?
I think, because I've seen murders in prison, right?
Okay.
But I think it was not a murder. It was an attempted murder on 2 dudes, and that one was more like, oh damn, they did some damage.
Yeah.
At the time, it was around the year 2008. Sentinel State Prison. I told you all the leaders were in the SHU in Pelican Bay. So with the white gangs, you have the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yeah.
They had sent down orders to all the whites that there was a new group trying to establish themselves. USAS, United Skins Aryan Association, or United Skins, something like that. USAS. Pretty much they were a new white gang that was going to try to assert themselves let me tell you right now, it did not fare well for them. No. At all, bro. No. And the whites do not play in prison. When you get hit by the whites, you're going to be done, dude. And the weapons are perfect that they make. They make like legit knives, bro.
No shit.
So I was eating my lasagna, right? And this one just stands out to me because it's probably one of the first times I've seen like violence on this level in a prison setting. And I hear Code 2, Charlie Vogue, which is behind the wall. Here's a prison yard. There's a big wall. And behind is where they have the vocational trades, where they can do welding or whatever, stuff like that. Okay. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, why is there something happening behind the wall? Usually people are just chill back there.
Because it's a luxury to be able to
It's like kind of like a privilege in a way.
Yeah.
And I fucking would go to the gate. And when I go, there's 2 white inmates, bloodied, bro, to a pulp. Broken face, bloodied. Oh, they were fucked up, dude. So what it was 4 white inmates attacked 2 white inmates with ice pick type weapons made out of screws. When I say ice pick, I mean like they look like they're cylinder and long screws, bro. Fuck, dude. The knives, they had to been probably like 8 inches, like maybe 9 inches. Like, oh, they stabbed them up. They stomped their face in. They broke their backs. Dude, I don't know how the fuck these guys didn't die. And like, I run up to one. He's like blood gurgling, right? And I'm like, hey, dude, what's your name? And he's like, oh, fuck. And I remember thinking like, damn, dude. That was stupid as fuck for me to ask him. Right? But I wasn't thinking. Like, yeah. And then I kind of get his ID. And then you start looking around. You see the fucking knives, bro. You see the shanks like in the grass. And you're like, oh, fuck. And then you see the white inmates. That was that one. You just reminded me of another white one that I saw on video surveillance camera because I was a lieutenant. Yeah. So I had access to the videos right before I resigned.
Yeah.
It was another white inmate. He was a somebody. I think he was an Aryan Brother associate at one point in his time. But now he was on a protective custody yard because he had like debriefed or whatever. Right? He went from being a gangster to not being a gangster. Where the child molesters are, where the rapists are, where the dropouts are. There's a child molester sitting he was sitting in a wheelchair like this. His buddy was sitting in a wheelchair like that. The old man, and he was old, bro. He was like 65, dude, which gave me hope. You see him walk. You see him pull out the knife. He had a knife like within his shorts.
The old man did?
The old man.
Okay.
So the old man was a former AB. The guy in the wheelchair with a child molester, the guy in the other wheelchair with a child molester. I think they pissed him off is what I think happened. He fucking comes up. He hits the dude in the fucking throat. Boom, 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 boom. How the guys that didn't die, I don't know. Hit him. Boom, 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 boom. The whole time this dude's looking at him, the guy comes up, hits him in the chest. How he didn't kill him, I don't know either, bro. Like, this is fucking lucky. Hits him in the chest. He goes over, and then he hits him right here, right under the eye, bro, because it, like, popped. Like, the blood squirted. He's like, boom. So, you have the dude bleeding out. You have 2 dudes bleeding out. And then that OG gangster, like, 65-year-old man fucking gets a knife, throws it looking straight at the correctional officers, and just gets down on his stomach, puts his hands behind his back. Like, straight gangster, bro. Like, fuck, I'm done. You can just put me in handcuffs. Send me to the hole.
Yeah, don't spray me.
Yeah, it's straight up, right? Like, respectful. To me, is respect. Yeah. So the following day, I hear about this hit, right? And I'm like, oh, shit, I seen it. I'm like, damn, bro. I said, who is that fucking dude? Because I'm a lieutenant, bro. I'm seasoned. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm over my job. I'm just there to have fun at this point. And I'm in the hole. I'm in ADSEG, and he's on the upper tier, on the lower. He's on the tier. I tell the young cop, like, hey, dude, what cell is that one white dude in? Oh, he's over here. Okay, cool. Hey, what's up, OG? Fucking, I go over there. Like, looks at me, gets up. He has a cane.
No
like,
shit.
Yeah, he has a cane, bro.
This dude's stabbing people?
Yes, bro.
What a gangster, bro.
Yes, bro. Yeah. So like
Chomos.
he's like fucking like frail. Well, he's just old, right? He's looking at me. I said, hey, man, you still got it, OG. You still got it. That's what I tell him. And he's like, looked at me. He's like, yeah. And then he's like, Lieutenant, every time I try to get out, they keep bringing me back in. I said, bro, you're like Scarface. That's what Scarface said. I told him. I said, you gave me hope, man. He's like, why is that? I said, because you're 65 years old, dude. I thought that when I got old, I was not going to be dangerous anymore. You shattered that fucking... He goes, ALT. Like, he was tripping out that I was talking to him like this. He goes, can I get like a book and a little pencil? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'll get you anything you need, man. You're doing the Lord's work over here. Stop 2 child molesters, bro.
Okay, so I've talked to guys before on the whole Chomo thing.
Yeah.
One of my good boys now, Vic, he was a guest. He's done a bunch of time, but he said something on when we talked that it sucks that society only looks at these hardcore criminals as heroes when they're killing or they're taking care of chomos in prison. Mm-hmm. He's like, we're monsters until we're doing that.
Right.
As a correctional, okay, so I guess this is like I'll just be honest question. Whenever you saw a child molester get taken care of, were you over like, fuck, like, is it always
ecstatic inside?
Yeah.
Ecstatic.
Okay.
100%. I felt, thank God. I felt, yes. Like rightfully so. That's different though. I never set it up. People have set it up.
Okay, that was my next question. Have you ever known the guys setting it up?
Yeah, absolutely. People have set it up.
How do they set it up?
By aiding the inmates into like giving them paperwork, showing them, hey, look what this guy's in here for. And then of course he's gonna go kill him.
That's how I feel I would be as a CO. 100%.
That's illegal as fuck though.
Yeah, I wouldn't care if I knew there was. This is why there's no way I could never be a border patrol agent. I could never be a cop. I could never be a CO because I'd be crooked 100%. I just know myself. Not like taking advantage, but
no, I hear what you're saying.
I would be, dude. I'd be dropping papers on dudes. Like if I knew that some guy came in and like ruined a bunch of children's lives, I would 100% be that CO. I'd be like,
check this out. I'm not gonna knock somebody for doing that.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna do that
for sure.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, so I would 100% would.
But it does get done.
Yeah. I would be that CO.
But when these 100%, man, I would thank these motherfuckers because by the time I got introduced to the child molesters, I was a sergeant and I was a lieutenant. So by then I already had 10 years in the department. I knew how to flow. My communication skills were immaculate.
Okay.
I had fucking mastered my environment, right?
Okay.
So I had no problem telling these inmates exactly how I felt. I was a lieutenant on Delta Yard at Donovan, and it was late at night, bro. I was supposed to get off work in an hour. And things matter like this, right? Because you don't want to stay late to do stupid fucking paperwork.
Yeah.
That's a pet peeve, right?
Uh-huh.
You expect to go home at a certain time. So we hear
after you're pissed.
Yeah, you're so pissed, bro. So like, I hear the alarm in housing unit 16. Fucking officers call me up. Yeah, we had an inmate assault another inmate, like beat the fuck out of him. And I said, well, fuck. I was pissed, bro. I was pissed. I said, bring that motherfucker over here, right? Like, bring him to my office. Which they got to come this way anyways because this is where the medical is at. Okay. So they got to walk all the way across the yard. And I was fucking pissed, bro. And fucking, it was a little Southsider. But it was an SNY yard, meaning it was a no-good yard. California started mixing inmates in the wrong yards. So I tell this dude, hey, what the fuck are you thinking, right? Like, why would you do that, dude? Like, look at the time, bro. Like, and he's like, I said, why did you do that? And he's like, because I can't be here. I can't be on this yard. Because the higher-ups would endorse an inmate on a yard they can't be at. Because then they would be victimized by their gang.
Oh, okay.
That make sense to you?
Kind of.
So they're putting guys on yards they're not supposed to be on.
The correctional officers or the gangs?
Administrations are putting inmates on yards they're not supposed to be on.
Because there's rival gangs or what?
Because of the California model, because of that bullshit.
What makes it a yard they're not supposed to be on, though?
Having child molesters on the yard would be a yard that gangsters cannot be on.
Oh, okay, I'm tracking. So
they're putting gangsters on PC yards, protective custody yards.
Yeah, but I agree with that. I don't think there should be separate yards, though. Shouldn't everybody just... So why? Okay, off of this, They don't separate gangs into different yards. They got whites, blacks, Samoans, fucking Mexicans, everything else in a yard. Why do the Chomos get their own yard? Why aren't they out there? So why is that a bad thing? Because it's going to be violence for you guys?
I guess it all depends on how honest and transparent you are to the public. I think the major concern that I have with the corruption is that you have a secretary that's lying to the public, saying they're not doing things that they are doing.
Like what? Putting people on the yards?
Putting people on the yards.
So they're putting gang members on Chomo yards?
Yes. And putting Chomos on gang member yards.
Okay.
On purpose.
See, I think that's how it should be. I don't think they should have any segregation. I think Chomos should go into Gen Pop.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not disagreeing.
Okay.
I'm not disagreeing, but you have to see the big, gigantic picture.
Yeah, okay, paint it.
I think if tomorrow I came out and I said on the news to the public, right, because it's public safety, bro. CDCR is operating as if there's some fucking private entity, like surprise secret organization. No, bitch, you're public fucking safety. We, the American people, the taxpaying, need to know what the fuck is happening in there, especially when you're lying. Okay. If I said, hey, check this out, I'm the fucking secretary, tomorrow, all motherfuckers are getting mixed. Figure it out, right? Figure it out. Here's the rules. If this is my name, put me on the lawsuits. I don't give a fuck. You guys fucked up the department, then that's transparency. Yeah. Right? Now the inmates know where we stand, the staff know where we stand. The problem is when you're lying to everybody. And
so that's happening, but they're saying it's not happening.
Correct.
Oh, no shit.
They're tricking people. So if I'm a gangster.
Okay.
No, better yet, if I'm a child molester. You're saying, what's the harm, Hector? If I'm a child molester, and I know that tomorrow they're going to put me on a yard full of gangsters. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm going to do? Well, first of all, I will never be a child molester. But you know what is happening or what has happened? You're going to make a knife in your cell. You're going to stick that knife in your ass. When they move you, when the officers move you to that bad yard, guess what you're going to do? Do you know what you're going to do?
Attack the CO?
Exactly. I didn't even tell you that. Your mind told you that. That's survival. You're going to take out that knife and you're going to hit the CO. Why? Because it's much easier to kill a correctional officer than for you to get killed by fucking gang members, bro. It's survival.
Okay.
That's why it's a problem. And I was a lieutenant. So now administration is putting my troops in danger. Immediate fucking danger. And these young fucking officers were too dumb to see the big fucking picture because they had been embedded into this, oh, it's us versus the inmate mentality. I'm like, no, motherfucker.
It's us versus them.
Correct.
Us versus the top.
Correct.
Because they're putting your life in danger with their dumbass rules while they're sitting at Capitol Hill.
Well, they're putting everybody's lives in danger, the inmates and the staff, and playing and saying that we're both fucking each other up when we're not. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, I'm glad I was able to, in like a minute, break that down because it's confusing, dude. It's a lot. So, that one fucking inmate, I said, why'd you do that? He said, because I can't be on this yard. I said, okay, well, why'd you pick that dude? He's like, because he's a child molester. I fucking laughed, bro. I said, all right, man. I told the officer, get this guy an extra lunch, dude. That was it. I said, thank you. You're doing the Lord's work. Every motherfucker that hit a child molester, I told him, you're doing the Lord's work. It was funny. They laughed. Everybody laughed. You're doing the Lord's work.
See, that's why I couldn't be a CO. I'd be popping doors. I'd just be like, oops, like.
Here's the thing, bro. Like, realistically, they're going to get hit. Like, you personally don't have to pop a door for a motherfucker to get stabbed. They're going to get stabbed, bro. Does that make sense?
Eventually?
Yeah, you don't have to be a part of it. I think that's what I try to, like, convey.
Nature takes its course in there.
Bro, nature. And I'm a firm believer in karma. There was a child, speaking of karma and child molesters, same housing unit, 16. An officer calls me on the phone. This was a weird thing. You asked me about a weird scenario. He says an inmate just got his finger chopped off. I said, what the fuck, man? This is the stupid shit I'm dealing with as a lieutenant, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck you mean his finger got chopped off? Well, I had the video surveillance system, which was a newer thing, which is cool, man, because you can see like 1080, 4K, everything on the yard, everything.
Okay.
What you see is a paisa, like a Mexican national child molester, exiting his cell. The control booth officer controls whether the cell door opens, closes, right? Well, this dumb bastard thought it'd be a good idea to stick his fucking fingers in last minute into the cell. He was trying to get his laundry bag out, and it fucking cut off his finger, bro. his finger got cut off, clean, seared off, right? So he's like, It's funny because you could see him, like, his movements in the camera. He's like,
like freaking out as his hand's stuck in there.
Because believe it or not, like, per a lieutenant's perspective, that's kind of a big incident, bro. A motherfucker lost a finger, bro.
Yeah.
It's a serious bodily injury.
Okay.
It's like, fucking goes to his fucking friend. Look like
you can see all this.
You can see all this. Go to the fucking. He goes to the officer. He shows the officer. The officer's like, dumb, bro. This is a fucking clown show, bro. All three get up. The fucking cops, the COs, the inmate with missing finger. They tell the control booth officer, open the door. We're missing a fucking finger. They're like looking on the fucking floor. Goes look. His dude's looking for his finger. And then finally he looks on the wall.
Stuck to the wall?
Stuck to the wall.
Just pinched it off and stuck it to the wall.
His finger was stuck to the wall, right? And I fucking interviewed him. And I said, like, dude, why did you do that for? Right? Why did you do that for? And he said, I was trying to put my laundry bag into the fucking thing, and I cut my fucking finger off. I had to go to the hospital.
Did they sew it back on?
I think he lost it.
Okay.
The next day, this motherfucker files a complaint against the officers. He's a child molester, mind you. He's Spanish speaking. He files a complaint against the officers that the officers purposely cut off his fucking finger. And he had somebody assist him in the writing of the appeal. And I was fucking pissed, bro. I fucking called him in my office. I said, hey, and tell him in Spanish. Didn't I fucking ask you yesterday? I said, why? You fucking told me. You put your finger in there. You're trying to get your laundry bag. And you chopped off. Yeah, well. I said, well, what the fuck is this? Right? The appeal. Just come, oh, well, you know, the other fuck. I said, no, dude. No. You touch fucking kids with your fingers and God fucking punished you. That's what happened. Get the fuck out of my office.
No shit.
Yeah, bro.
Did you shred that form?
I didn't shred it because it has to go through. You have to go through the motions.
Okay.
Right. But I was documented on the report. Like, hey, dude, I interviewed you yesterday.
Yeah.
You specifically told me it's on camera, bro. You try to put your fucking laundry bag in there and you chopped off your finger. They try to make it look like it was a malicious thing by the officers, which it was not.
Yeah. What's it like dealing with the mental health in prison?
You familiar with Skid Row?
Yeah.
You familiar with Skid Row in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Where you look at any homeless encampment like that, dude. Straight up.
How? How do they function?
Just imagine you trying to go to a tent and in fucking Skid Row and be like, hey, dude, come here, man. I need you to go back to your cell. You're going to get, he's going to nut up. They're high on spice. They're high on bath salts. They're high on fentanyl.
In prison.
Yeah, high on meth. They're chemically imbalanced. They're mentally unstable. They have some of them, schizophrenia. They have, what do you have when they see things and they hear things? Hallucinations. Mm. Oh, dude, it's a disaster. I hated it, bro.
Just a nightmare dealing with them.
Self-mutilation.
I've heard this. I heard we had a CO. The guy said that he cut his whole nutsack open with a pair of
listen to me.
Nail clippers.
Yes, dude.
You ever see some shit like that?
I was used to dealing with the gangsters, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you go to this other prison, and yeah, there was a guy they called like Paperclip Johnson. He would stick a paperclip like all the time.
Up his
yeah, another guy with green beans. They would just mutilate, bro, mutilate. There was a...
Do what with green beans? He's putting
it in his pee hole.
He's putting it in the tip of his dick.
Pee hole. He just go out to the hospital. These they're sick people, bro. Like sick. They go to the hospital, have a nurse touch them, pull it out. They're into some weird. It's sick, bro. It's sick. I don't like that kind of shit. Yeah, bro.
Cut themselves. What are
they chop off their genitals, right? They'll like a lady gouge her eyeballs out at the women's institution. Now I didn't see it, but I know that's a fact. Like she got high on meth and gouged both of her eyeballs out.
And this is happening in our prison.
It's easy for me to believe because I've seen similar stuff where, of course, bro, it would happen. Inmates that will get razor blades because we give them razor blades to shave, right? And they will they will start in the wrist and go all the way up their fucking arm and fillet their fucking arm wide open, and you be fucking bleeding out, and we see it, and there's blood everywhere, and you have to fucking save that dude. And they may have hepatitis C, they may have AIDS, they may have everything that you can think of. They probably do, and you have to save that motherfucker.
And they're trying to fight you at the same time?
It varies sometimes, yeah. I mean, fighting bloody inmates is not abnormal. Fighting inmates covered in feces is not abnormal. Fighting naked inmates is not abnormal in a mental health institution like that, right? Because these are all wild shit, bro. It's I don't like it, dude. There was barbed wire, concertina wire, which is a razor wire. Yeah. When I first got to Donovan State Prison, one of those crazy dudes, for some reason he started jumping the fences. Like I don't even think he was trying to escape, because he was jumping like interior fences, not even like exterior fences.
Okay.
I mean, he was trying to make his way to the exterior fences, but you have to understand, he jumped over 2 fences topped with concertina. Do you realize what that did to him? Bro, when they brought him into the clinic, they had trash bags on all of his fucking limbs because this dude was leaking out, gushing out blood. They said that they drove that dude to the hospital, and like they had like 4 emergency like surgeons on him, like suturing him at the same time, dude, because of how much he was cut up. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with these people. They don't feel pain or some shit.
I've heard this. Like, they'll dislocate an arm. My buddy Austin was on, and he's like,
I've seen it.
They'll use it as a club, their own arm.
It. They don't feel it's scary, bro. It's scary because, like, I know what it takes to be a violent person. Mm-hmm. You have to be more violent than them. Mm-hmm. I think that's what scares me now that I think of it. How the fuck? When they're here, that means you got to bring it that much more, and that's a scary place to be.
And then you just go home and act like nothing happened.
Correct. It's like Friedrich Nietzsche said, those that fight monsters ought to be aware they don't become a monster themselves. Mm-hmm. Be aware of the abyss, because when you stare at the abyss will stare back at you. Which is one of the reasons I resigned too, bro. I had a 4-year-old daughter. I was becoming a very dark person, meaning like I was done.
You're just surrounded by it all day.
Yeah, I was jaded. I was fucking through. Corruption. I think the corruption grossed me out more than any of the blood or inmates, for sure.
Before, I want to touch more on the corruption, but I got another question for you. Especially with dealing with the mental health. Did you ever have them throw feces on you?
Thank God, nothing. No.
Really?
Bro, for the record, this is like the 6th time I've ever said it. I never got assaulted.
Really?
Never.
20 years?
16.
16? Never got assaulted. That's impressive.
I've been in a lot of bullshit. I've been in staff assaults, meaning that my partners got assaulted and I was right there, right then, and then we handled it.
You've never squared up with an inmate, though.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Okay.
There was two times. I'll say two. There was a couple, 2 or 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 in my career, where I pulled inmates aside, isolated them, and challenged them to fight. And you should not be doing that. I should not have done it then, but at the time I felt that it needed to be done. At the time, if I could have got away with it, meaning if shit would have went south, I think we would have been all right. But that's a thing of the past, right? I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Did it help me out in my career? I think so, bro, because inmates talk.
Mm-hmm. Because I just recently saw a video of an inmate and a correctional officer, and they squared off. And
that was so weird, though, because that was like in the East Coast. You see a lot of weird shit in the East Coast.
Why?
It could be like low pay. It could be like low training. It could be demographics. You're not going to fucking... In California, you're not going to square off with an inmate like that, especially not on camera. That's what's not going to happen.
But that's more common on the East Coast. I feel correctional officers on the East Coast versus West Coast are 2 different worlds.
Let me tell you something. Well, they are 2 different worlds.
Just by how they're...
I think in California, we're smarter to the degree. So you got to be calculated. In my head, I could be calculated. Mm-hmm. I could beat you in my head before I beat you in real life. I'm going to make it look fast. You see that video of the East Coast correctional officer and the inmate, they're both taking their time saying, what's up? Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. I'm going to show you. To me, you've already showed your hand. I think if you guys are going to crack it off, both of you need to crack it off immediately. Does that make sense? Because if the higher-ups are looking,
watching you,
they're like, dude, what the fuck are you guys doing?
You had plenty of time to...
What are you guys escalated the shit out? You guys planned. You guys, what the hell? Both of you were fired. Fucking one inmate, get out of here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you kick it off, you could both say, like, hey, well, fuck, we fucking bumped into each other and it turned into something that it shouldn't have turned into. The inmate's going to get disciplined, but so will the staff. But it's not going to look like a staged fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, I don't recommend that. Those days are over.
For sure. So when it comes to the corruption, I mean, we've talked about it. What was, when you made it to lieutenant, and you're in this correctional facility, now you have a leadership, supervisor role and position. What did you start to notice that was corrupt inside the prison?
COVID.
That's when it hit? What was corrupt about what was so bad during that time?
So COVID, common sense would tell you that if you have an inmate that's positive with COVID, you leave them alone, right? You leave them in his cell.
Mm-hmm. You isolate them. You quarantine them.
Correct. The higher ups, and you have to understand, incompetence has a lot to do with this corruption.
For sure.
It's evil. There's different layers to it. Incompetence. So the evil people get the incompetent booger eaters to do all their dirty work, and they gladly do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they were mixing all the inmates, mixing COVID positive inmates with non-COVID positive inmates, and just the inmates
spreading through the prison system.
Spreading like wildfire. The inmates were freaking out, bro. The inmates were terrified of COVID. They were not happy. And imagine if we have to go over there as officers, sergeants, lieutenants, like, hey, you have to move. Well, why am I moving over here? You have to move into this gym that looks like Area 54 because everybody's contaminated. Like, fuck you, I'm not moving over there. Then they'll fight you. You see how all this can turn into safety issues? So when me as a lieutenant, I bring it up to my higher-ups, like the concerns. Hey, well, what are we doing here? Like respectfully, right? Because at the time, I still had the military bearing. Hey, like, what are we doing here, sir? Like, is it not a good idea to not mix these guys? One's positive, one's not. The way that they look at you, bro, is like you just insulted their intelligence. Their egos are so inflated that how dare you speak to me? How dare you question my authority? Now, that in itself is not corruption, right? That is poor leadership or their lack of horrible management. But the corruption comes when you start mixing gangsters with child molesters and purposely setting them up. And I was part of the crisis response team, the SWAT team.
Okay.
For the prison. We were staged inside of the visiting with the 40 millimeters while we got 20 gangsters, 10 on this side, 10 on this side, and walked them into the building knowing that they were going to all fight.
Each other or the chomos?
The people inside the buildings already. So they weren't all chomos, right? It's a mixture of people that can live with chomos.
These 20, you said there was 10 on each side?
10 on each side.
So you knew these 20 dudes bringing them in there, you're just going to turn them loose, and it was immediately going to be...
Riot.
And it was?
100%. It was. And there was 2 buildings, 2 lines, 2 buildings. They both went in there. It erupted in violence. I personally respond with a 40 millimeter less lethal as a lieutenant, and I start shooting the dudes. Boom, boom, boom. I'm a lieutenant, bro. Like, what am I doing shooting, you know? But I was part of the crisis response team. Yeah. I hit a dude like 5 times up the fucking leg. Boom, boom. We put the dudes in flex cuffs, which I've done in every single riot. We escort them out. And the lieutenant at the time told the inmates, we're going to escort you back into this building. We're going to cut off your restraints, and you guys are going to keep fighting all night long until you get tired. Me and my friend gave each other that look that you just gave me right now. What the fuck did he just say? Because that was the beginning of that type of corruption.
So they're just running like a gladiator ring inside of here.
And blaming the officers.
No shit.
Yes.
But that wasn't kind of fun to watch? Or was it scary because you guys are getting pulled into it?
I get no fucking honor in that, bro.
Okay.
I get no honor in pitting people that should not be together.
Well, because a lot of them probably don't even want to be involved in it. But they have to.
They don't want to because they have to be because of their own rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no honor in that. There's no honor in that. And for the fucking correctional officers that say, who gives a fuck, they're just inmates, let them fight. I gave you that scenario earlier. It's all fun and games till an inmate pulls a knife out of his ass and stabs you in the fucking throat.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
So
everything I'm telling you, I've seen firsthand.
So you're saying that during the COVID time, that the leadership of the correctional facilities were pretty much running these gladiator fights by mixing chomos with gangsters, and
it was COVID 2020.
Yeah,
the mixing happened in 2021.
Okay,
right after COVID.
Okay,
and I resigned in 2022. That's the timeline.
And then they're I mean, so how are they portraying this to the public?
This is how they're
media?
This is how they're portraying it to the inmates. Hey guys, when you guys parole to the streets, you don't get to choose who your neighbor is. You're expected to get along with your neighbor out there. We're expecting you to get along in here. But that's not
how prison works. That's like
you know why that's not ideal? Because prison is a fucking controlled setting, bro.
Yeah.
You can't just leave whenever you want.
Yeah,
you don't have you're fucking stuck. You got to follow the rules. There's a count time. There's a chow time.
You don't get to get away.
You don't get exactly. In the free world, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I can leave.
You can kick back in the house all day, watch TV. In prison, bro, you're being controlled by the system. That's why that doesn't work. It's fucking corruption, bro. And we didn't even dive right into it, but I'm pretty sure people got the gist of California is fucked, dude.
So these dudes are just, I mean, it was just a cockfight in there. I mean, they're just setting this shit up.
This has been going on bad, bro, for fucking years. It's still going on, dude. I've been in litigation where inmates have reached out to me and asked me to assist in documentation writing about these gladiator fights, these mixing, is it real? I was like, 100% it's fucking real, dude. I have documentation.
See, and the reason I believe this is because I had Austin on, and he was talking about one of the prisons out here, down the road here. They actually named it. All the CEOs named it Gladiator, and they were setting up fights and shit with all the prisoners, and I guess it got pretty wild.
So nobody's happy right now, bro. The correctional officers are miserable. The inmates are not happy. The inmates as a whole, because they see the corruption for what it is. They're being put in a bad predicaments. But the administration is putting out fake propaganda on their website saying, look, we're such a rehabilitative prison.
For the funding.
Oh, you already know, bro. For the false image.
So meanwhile, these dudes are in there just stabbing each other.
Murdering each other, bro. Because I have a website, too, where I show videos of fucking carnage, butchering. Oh, my God, bro. Murders. There has been 103 murders since December 2022 since I resigned. And that current secretary has been the secretary. 103 homicides in a 3-year span. You're probably thinking oh, that's not a lot. Dude.
That's just your prisons that you were at, that he runs, that you came from.
California. Or California prisons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is supposedly working fine because of this new model and safety or whatever the fuck.
Something I don't understand about prisons.
That's not even including suicides and overdoses. Suicides are rampant, bro. I've come across a lot of inmate suicides.
How are they killing themselves in prison?
They fucking tie a bed sheet to the light fixture or the vent in the air thingy or the bunk, and they fucking hang themselves. I saw a dude hang himself on his knees, an Asian guy. He tied a noose to his neck, tied the fucking end to the bunk, got on his knees, leaned forward, killed himself. Inmate Eric Cocky. That's a fact. I was on a swap that day, bro. It was 6:01 a.m. and I hear, I'm like, fuck, I haven't even had my coffee yet. You hear on the radio, Central Control, be advised, unresponsive inmate, cell, whatever the fuck. I'm like, oh, he's dead. He's dead. Because he did it right, you know? He did it at nighttime. And the morning shift fucking caught him. He did it right.
Okay, so my ignorant mind, right? My little finite mind of inside prison. I look at these gangs as like an anthill, right? Like all these little anthills. And when you take a scoop of one anthill and you throw it on another, you immediately, it is 100% fight for their life. Why don't we build these prisons to where these blocks are all just that specific gang and gangs never cross paths?
Fuck no.
Why?
That would be bad for the COs. How? When you have all of one race in one area, they turn all their attention on the COs.
Okay, that makes
sense.
And
I've encountered that. I've experienced that.
That makes sense to me.
Because they don't have that tension from the other race to kind of like.
But if we're giving these dudes iPads, they got fucking radios, TVs, they got commissary. I get there's a lot of them in there, and that's the reason they're in there, because their mind is just not normal, so they're looking for violence 24/7. Yeah. But like as an outsider, I'm like, okay, why don't we just take all the blacks and stick them in block C? All the whites are in B, and then they just never cross. They're gonna.
I think the questions you're asking, you got to understand which you're framing them.
Okay.
If you right now went up to the director of the CDCR, the secretary, and you're like, hey, sir, like I think I have a good idea of like how to fix your problem. He's going to look at you. He's going to scoff and laugh at you. That's the type of people that are in charge.
100%.
Which is fucking foul, bro. Like, so we can have the best idea in the world. Doesn't matter if the people are not implementing it correctly. You can have the best idea in the world, execute it, but with poor execution could turn into a complete and utter failure.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. So I guess my next question to you would be, you did 16 years and you made it to lieutenant. You've seen from the trenches to the leadership position. How would you change the California? How would you just change prison systems in general to make them more rehabilitating for prisoners?
Easy.
How?
Easy. I know which inmates want to rehabilitate. I know which inmates want to go home. And I know which inmates want to fuck around and give the staff a hard time.
So should that be separated?
Yes. And the incentives should be distributed correctly.
What type of incentives?
So right now, they are rewarding all bad behavior.
How?
Oh, bro, if you're a fucking piece of shit, if you're masturbating to female officers, we're going to give you a car show. We're going to give you a circus. We're going to bring in food vendors. They're rewarding the bad behavior.
They're bringing food vendors into
prison, car shows into prison.
What the
BMX skateboarding shows with ramps.
No way. There's no way.
100%. Oh my goodness! I just posted on Instagram, man. They brought in these females. They were twerking on the inmate. They were dancing, having a good old time. Maybe they weren't twerking. I probably. Who knows? Why twerk? Why go dance with inmates? You know what I mean? I'm a realist, bro. What they're selling is a fucking circus, is what it is. It's a circus. It's a circus.
So I guess
so the inmates that behave
should be then their own block.
What I'm saying is they're not getting those type of incentives, bro. I know this for a fact. If you're a general population inmate, you're not getting any of the cool fucking stuff that the other guys are getting, which is backwards. You need to reward the good behavior and punish the bad behavior, just like a parent. It's that fucking easy, bro. That's how fix half of your fucking problem.
That doesn't make any sense to me that these guys are getting food carts and car shows.
I don't mind the food sales because the inmates will pay like, let's just say, $25 for a pizza, but that money gets fundraiser to like Children's Rady's Children's Hospital.
Okay, so that's actually going somewhere.
So they donate the money to
that's
a good
not going
cause.
to the admin and
correct. So I don't mind the food sales. They get to eat whatever.
Food sales as far as commissary, but you're talking they're bringing
outside,
how
not
the fuck
commissary.
Are the inmates,
not commissary. Pizza Hut, Costco Pizza, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And again, I don't mind it because the money's going to a good place. That's the only reason why I don't mind it. And if they...
Okay, so let's say you had guys, because if we're rehabilitating these people...
But we're not, bro. You do realize we're not rehabilitating nobody, right?
For sure.
Okay, cool.
I just keep... That's why I do air quotes every time.
Air quotes, bro. All right.
Every time I say rehabilitate, I do air quotes because...
For in case of viewers, look at the
I have buddies that have been in the system, and they said that the worst shit they've ever dealt with was way harder in there trying to keep clean than it was on the streets.
Oh, 100%.
They say there's more drugs in prison, there's more crime in prison, there's more violence in prison. And that's where I have such a hard time knowing that, let's say some kid gets caught up with a bunch of weed or coke, whatever, right? Gets a DUI and gets put into these situations. They immediately get pulled into a gang to survive. Is it possible to go to prison and not get pulled into a group?
2026 is unpredictable. I never told you that there's condom dispensers inside the housing units. You know when you go to the shopping mall and you go to the bathroom, you can buy the cologne in the restroom or a condom. Some places you have them.
Yeah.
Every prison building in California has a dispenser on the wall that all inmates have access to and free condoms. That's a fucking fact, bro. That happened years ago. Free condoms, free Narcan, free Suboxone, free. It's all funded.
Bro, people like Californians.
I don't even think. But then now you got to talk about generations, right? Let's keep it real on your podcast. We're doing a good job. Let's talk about generations in society. What are these 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-olds, like 23-year-old demeanors? Just they're different than our age, right?
Well, they're growing up. Most of them are growing up without fathers now.
That's the same type of inmates that are going in.
Okay.
They lack the virtues of the old values that we got taught, right? So they're out of fucking control. They're out of control. They're wild. They lack respect. Not even the OG convicts, not even the old school inmates can't fucking stand these little bastards. They're like, dude, we don't know how to get through to them. They don't listen. Couple that in with who is your new batch of correctional officers. 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds. So the system is freaking screwed right now. Currently in California, what you have is you have the new generation that have taken over and ruined everything.
Okay.
And you have the old inmates that want out. You have the old staff that want out.
Oh, and so you have just a big turnover going on right now.
The turnover has been happening for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
How's that going?
You ever see the movie Titanic? It's a sinking ship, bro. Me and somebody else are the only ones calling it for what it is. It's a sinking ship, bro. We have not even seen the ultimate. Let me tell you something, man. For your viewers to Google, type in the name Cesar Hernandez, Kern Valley State Prison. 2 years ago, a level 4 180 GP killer inmate escaped from Kern Valley State Prison, ran away from the correctional officers. During a transportation run to the courthouse, he managed to make it to Tijuana. He got in a shootout with the Tijuana police and killed a female police officer. You never heard about that in the news, bro. That just shows the corruption.
Nope. That's kind of...
You're seeing shit in California that you've never fucking seen shit before on a whole nother level that's completely out of control. There's no more control. The officers have lost control.
But they still control the prisons? That's why I asked earlier.
Let me give you an example.
Let me give
you an example. I guess it's like being a fucking zookeeper.
Okay.
If you're like, do you really control the fucking zoo? Like, I mean, if you're just wearing a silly hat.
Are you really controlling all the monkeys that can just jump this wall and rip you to shreds?
Lions, yeah. Are you really doing much? No. Are you crossing your fingers every day? And I was one. Being a correctional officer in 2026 in California, you're crossing your fucking fingers and going to work hoping nothing happens on your shift.
Everything that you know about the correctional facilities, the 16 years in, are you just waiting to like a full-blown riot takeover in one of these prisons? Like, are we close to that in California since the admin
This is what I think is going to happen. This is what I think is going to happen. And somebody wrote on my Instagram, it sounds like you're wanting this to happen, Hector. I'm like, no, dude, I'm a fucking realist and I see what it is.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. A correctional officer is going to get killed in the line of duty.
Okay.
In California. But also, I'm thinking on a stage of like Attica or New Mexico prison riot takeover,
okay,
and or with a gun in a hostage situation. So for putting it on the record book and hoping that it does not happen, praying to God that it does not happen. But with my experience, one or all of those 4 things are inevitable. Inevitable. And I'm not just saying this to like try to collect views, or I'm not like the mainstream media that just want to make the emotions. You've been in the
trenches and you've seen all this. I mean, you walked away from your job because you see where this is going.
With a 4-year-old daughter, and I wanted no part of it.
Yeah, and that's why I asked.
100%, bro. And I'm glad you see it that way.
Where's the future of California corrections?
Something horrible is going to happen. A cop's going to get killed. There's going to be a massive riot takeover, a hostage situation. But here's the kicker. And then what? And then what?
How do they change it?
No, and then what? Then that becomes a new norm. Then the correctional officers pretend they're upset. Do absolutely nothing.
Or retaliate, which amplifies.
They won't retaliate.
You don't think so?
No, they don't have it in them.
Is there, okay, so coming from the Army and being in such a tight unit to corrections, is there pride in there, or are you on your own?
They say it's paramilitary. It's not paramilitary. In 16 years and in 2 prisons, 2 hands. Solid people that I can trust.
Really?
Trust. And by trust, you mean like we can get into some dirt together. Like, I'll trust you, motherfucker. We're going to go down together. Yeah. Trust. And that's out of 1,000 and 1,000. 10 out of 5,000 employees. It's a small select few, bro. And it's not that I'm knocking them. I'm just being a realist, dude. Sure. But in life, what have I told you ever since I've been meeting you, since I met you? I said, I'm glad I met you, bro. I don't have people like this I can talk to. There are very small, few percentage of solid humans in this world.
I appreciate that.
That is in society. Because I refuse to lower my standards or my values, bro.
You can't ever lower your standards, and you're just a bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
There's no lowering standards ever.
So, damn, dude, I'm glad you let me get that truth out and, like, let me express it the way that it is the truth, bro.
Feel
like,
better?
Yeah, dude, because I thought it was going to be confusing or hard for you to understand or for the people to understand, but I'm just being straight up, bro. And it's not nothing new under the sun. Look at Rome. How did the fall of Rome? Mm-hmm. Look at the FBI.
Do you look at our correctional facilities and look, I don't know how to word this, but you take our state of the government right now and how it's looking. Is it just copy-paste to corrections, how that's run with the corruption?
Evil, corruption, copy-paste. Doesn't matter.
I guess.
Call it CDCR, call it FBI.
What does CDCR stand for again?
California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Call it the Ukraine, Hunter Biden funding, the proxy wars with fucking Russia.
How are they making money, though?
Who?
The staff or the leadership.
They're not. They're selling out for power.
Oh, okay.
Power.
Okay.
Power.
Which that's a huge thing.
Position.
People that understand. Yeah, people
egotistical.
Yeah. Okay, so they're just bowing the knee to new scum, and then that gets them promoted.
Yep.
That makes it. Then they're working their ranks up into the California system.
I was on a podcast, bro, and they asked me like, "Well, I don't understand." Oh, it was the Ironclad or something. He's like, "I don't understand. What do you mean corruption, bro? Like, what do you mean they're selling out for like a power?" I'm like, bro, they're content with just fucking for a title. They'll fucking sell out their own mother for a fucking title.
And if people can't understand that, you're ignorant. Look at our politicians. You see the list of people that are taking money from AIPAC, and it's like $24,000. I'm like, you sold your soul to Israel for 24 fucking grand? You can't make that on a side hustle? You're selling yourself out for... Dude, the fact people will do anything for power. Anything.
Power... Okay, so like you said, Hector, do you see CDCR? You see politics... Do you see corruption, copy-paste? Yes. But in one side of the spectrum, you have the corrupt entities. On the other side, you have the public sheep unwilling to act. Which encourages this behavior, which is culpability by definition.
Well, at the same time, you have this fortified fortress, this building that has layers of fences of all. How the fuck is a civilians going to look at it and be like, we need to dig into that?
No, but what my reference was in reference to the current correctional officers refusing to stand up to the corruption. It takes, what did they say? The only thing necessary for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. Mm-hmm. Who said that? Thomas Jefferson said. Somebody said it. Somebody important, right? That is from what I've seen. Nazi Germany. Hitler. How many fucking German nationals saw and understood what was happening was wrong, but said nothing, did nothing because they were afraid of retaliation?
Well, same with cops. Same with the military.
Correct.
Vaccines.
God, don't even get me started on the vaccines, but it's the same shit. Mm-hmm. You see what we're up against. But it's important for the American people to identify who's who and what's what. My thing is when shit hits the fucking fan, be careful who you pick the right people, pick the right side to be on. And they're not the loudest motherfuckers in the room. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No.
And don't think you're going to be jumping ship, bitch, because I remember you over here playing this fucking game over here for so long. Now you want to come and join the winning team? Ain't going to fucking happen.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because I'm just like everything that our government touches is corrupt.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
The money, the hookups, the grants, the funding, the so and so. Dude, when I was working in just the utility world under the Obama administration, bro, the whole go green bullshit when everybody was going green. Motherfucker would have a company and his wife was the environmentalist and her sister-in-law ran the traffic. Dude, and all these people would be all connected, and then you would get these government gigs, and then as soon as you got the bid, then you had your whole entire family bid everything that all own these companies. And then now it's like, bro, you have a family and brother-in-law, sister-in-laws, dad, you got a fucking 17-year-old daughter that's like running the flagging, all this crazy shit, and everybody was making bank. And it's the same thing I feel like in all of these entities of the government that, if we could get this funding, we're going to allow transgenders to get breast augmentations. Right. That's going to give us more funding, and then the guys at the top are
Somali daycare sham. The Somali daycare sham.
It's the same thing as our correctional facilities. It's no 100%.
Different. It's corruption, bro.
It's like, okay, you got
evil. It's evil. It's fucking bottom line evil, bro. Because people are selling out for money, for power, for titles, positions.
For sure. People have a hard time grasping that concept still. And it's like you just look at what people will sell their soul for anything.
Let's be realistic. How did we go from, you and I have the same birthday, bro. Same birthday. How did we go from that year we were born to now? Easy. We got away from our primitive state. They attacked us with toxic masculinity. They said female gender equality. They removed the Pledge of Allegiance from school. They removed religion. They got rid of God. Every traditional Christian family value virtue was attempted to be destroyed by evil. Call it what you want, George Soros, whoever it may be. And all we have to do as a nation is just go back to where we were. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just go back to where we were. Why fix it if it's not broken? You know what I mean? I think a good time frame in the world was around probably 2009, 2008. Like, things were fucking legit there. We had internet. We had boys' restrooms, girls' restrooms.
Things were nice. The whole world wasn't at each other's throats.
Correct.
Look how angry we are now.
That's by design.
100%.
And dopamine, right? Because on my Instagram, I'm always talking shit to these people. Like, oh, you fucking spend all your time scrolling and laughing at fucking dopamine. Weak people chase dopamine hits, bro. The same exact way I used to chase dopamine when I was chasing women, chasing drugs, and chasing alcohol. The only reason I'm able to speak confidently as I am because I'm experienced in doing the wrong thing first. All right. I'm not here sitting on a pedestal saying I am almighty, I am God, I am perfect. I am straight up told you I used to smoke meth, I used to drink alcohol, I ended up in a psych ward, but I know what corruption is and I've witnessed it and I wanted no part in it.
Yeah.
So am I really that crazy? I don't think so, bro. I'm perfectly sane.
And you didn't ever lower your morals or values for it.
Thank you. And you know
that's what a true man is.
And you know what's attached to that? My last name. And my last name, my daughter's last name. My father's last name.
Facts. That's why I look at these dudes. I'm like that sell out for shit. I'm like, God, you're such a bitch, bro.
You just shat on your whole fucking family lineage
for money or power.
It's fucking disgusting.
I've had opportunities where I could have stepped into place, but I knew what it was going to take. And
100%.
And it felt so good. I'm good.
We sleep good at night, bro. That's fucking priceless. Me and you can walk down the street and know that like nobody can shun down on us or fucking spit on our name.
Know how I live? That my daughters could look at their dad every single day and be like, he is not a fucking pussy. He ain't a bitch. He's never sold out. He's not going to do anything for money or power. Bro, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a sellout number that if somebody came to me, if Israel's listening, it's going to be probably 200 million.
200 million? I think my sellout number would be a little bit higher than 200 million.
Honestly, I've thought about it, but I've never come up with a number.
Maybe if they pay off my mortgage, I might,
I would have to know I would have to see the contract first of what I'm have to do before I come.
I want a car in the contract though, dude.
Yeah.
Pay off my house and give me a car was fucking straight, bro. No.
Yeah, dude.
See, my daughter's too young to understand any of this, right? But as she grows older, she'll if and when she sees what happened, then she'll know what happened.
And you'll she's not gonna probably respect it for a while, but when she's old enough and mature enough to understand it. But like, my biggest thing is, as a man and as a father, I want my daughters to be able to look at me like, my dad stood on business for anything. If he was wrong, he took it on the chin. If he was right, he died on that fucking hill, and there was no bending the knee to anybody but Jesus Christ. That's in mom occasionally when she wins a fight, but right. That's it. And that to me is as like a dad and a man, like that's where my pride is. Like I couldn't go to bed at night knowing my daughters know that I sold out for something.
But I could assure you that me and you are raising our daughters better than most quote unquote men are raising their sons in 2026.
100%, dude. I have to deal with the sons. I got daughters.
I had to deal with the sons, right? At work, working in a prison.
Yeah.
100%. And that's the fucking problem. Let's talk about that real quick. I don't think me and you would give a shit if people were fucking scumbags and pieces of shit, but when we have to deal with it and it becomes our fucking problem, then that's a fucking problem. Yeah, when I have to carry your fucking dead weight, you were a fucking Marine, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what happens if somebody doesn't pull their weight on a fucking road march or a hike? It's like, hey, bitch, you get up here. Get up here with us, right?
Wasn't an option, my
bitch, you want to wear this fucking uniform? You want to wear this badge? You want to wear this patch, motherfucker? Get up here. Toe the fucking line. Do the rest. Because it's exhausting, bro. I'm glad I got a vent, bro. This is like a little venting session for me.
Lighter now or what?
I was fucking going through it, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm like putting on the rucksack and like doing the work for these ungrateful motherfuckers. But I've calmed down now, bro.
Yeah, you have to, because then it just festers.
Yeah.
And it's the past.
And I don't really hate them. Let's talk about this. Do you think your drill instructors wanted the worst for you?
One of them, possibly.
One of them, right? There's always that psychopath.
Yeah.
But as a whole.
They were getting, I mean, dude, it was end of 2003, beginning of 2004. They had to get us on track.
Exactly.
I get it.
So whenever I try to help the world, I'm 41, I feel old. I look at it from a father perspective, a leadership perspective. Like, hey, dude, I'm telling you for your own good, kid. Don't do it this way. Do it, preferably look into doing it this way.
I said it earlier, there's certain jobs that I could just never be, especially younger. Now it's I got a way different mindset and completely different person, but like, dude, being border patrol, I no way. Like, there's a certain positions I never could have done. But there comes to like this point where it's like, when you get tested and you have that crossroad where you're like, all right, I can go with these guys because they're all getting away with it, or you're, man, it ain't for me, and you take that path and you go home at night and you can sleep knowing that you didn't do some shit or cross a line. You don't have that weight, you don't have the stress. You're not like, oh fuck, is anybody gonna find out? Because we've all been young, we've all made mistakes, but
that's because you're looking at it through the beauty of hindsight, and that what you just described was groupthink. Because we've been in positions where we've been forced to make a choice. We haven't always made the right choice, but we have made the right choice, and we notice that it makes us fucking feel better.
Yeah.
So groupthink. It's important I highlight groupthink on your podcast as well, because I was also a certified hostage negotiator.
Okay.
So I went to like the FBI version of like their training school for a hostage negotiator. 10-day course, bro.
Did you ever
cool
have to
fuck?
Did you ever have to like talk anybody off the ledge or what? Did you ever use your negotiation skills?
You're not going to believe this if I told you. I went to the 10-day hostage negotiation course. I come back. The prison I worked at was in Donovan.
Okay.
There's a bridge on the 125 freeway, the toll road. You have to pay a toll. There's a big-ass fucking bridge where down is a drop. I'm driving to work 1 week after I come back from the hostage negotiation course, dude. And there's a lady sitting on the bridge. And I'm like, what the hell? Right? Because I'm driving to work, and then I see the lady, and I think in my head, nah, no way. But I can't flip a bitch yet because there's a whole entire meeting on the bridge. So something told me, dude, what the fuck? Go flip a bitch. Flip a bitch. I park directly across from her, 4 lanes over. And I hear her weeping. Like hands, and I'm like, what the fuck? Hey, ma'am, we had a scenario at the hostage negotiation course of a person on the bridge and you got to talk them off the ledge, quote unquote, literally. And then another car starts parking and there was a border patrol. Like, this really fucking happened, dude. I'm like, ma'am, can I speak with you? I would like to hear you out, ma'am. I just start fucking going into my mode of hostage negotiation, right? Because you're not problem solving. You're actually trying to listen to what the person's crisis that they're in. They're in crisis mode.
Okay.
They're in the, they're not, you got to bring them back to their baseline.
Yeah.
Hey, ma'am, I don't know you, but I'm willing to listen to you. Like, please let me hear you out. Please. She like looked up. I said, but can I please take you off that? Can you please give me your hand? Dude, she was on the fucking ledge, like to the drop of the bottom. And then she just fucking put out her hand like that. And I grabbed it and I like helped her off because it was elevated, pretty elevated. And I like, fuck. And I walked her back and this other fucking like border patrol agent, like off duty, you could tell by his pants, like fucking, hey man. She's like, she starts crying, talking about her children got taken away from her. Starts talking and I'm like, fuck, dude. We called CHP. CHP never came, bro. But the point of the fucking story was that like I think God put me in the perfect place at the perfect time. Her dad ended up showing up. And her dad was like, he was kind of a dick, bro. He's like, this is the fucking second time you've done this week. Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, fucking. We told him, like, hey, take her to go get help. And he was like, I'm taking her home. And fucking, damn. I went to work. But it was a fucking, that was a real shit, bro.
That's not a coincidence.
That really fucking happened, bro. Mm-hmm. That really happened.
Damn, dude, this has been a great conversation.
It's a real conversation.
Right, that's what we do here. Wild chaos. You never know where it's going to go.
You're killing it, bro. I'm happy, dude. Happy for you.
Thank you, dude. That's why, I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, we've been chatting for a little bit, and when I came across you, I was like, oh, man.
You're a great human, bro.
Thank
you,
bro.
Fucking human, dude.
Depends. I appreciate that. Depends on who you ask.
Hey, don't worry about that, bro. People have some mean things to say about me, man.
Fucking A, they do. That's what people are like, I've heard something about you. I'm like, what era was this? Like, what chapter of my life was it in? No, yeah. I appreciate that, man. I've come a long way, that's for sure, especially the early days. It was wild and out of control. But I appreciate you coming out here, dude, and having this conversation. And it's crazy to me, especially the California system of what's going on and, like, just the corruption and what these taxpayers are paying for. Blows my... That's
hey, they're cool with it, apparently. I'm a taxpayer.
I mean, even when the corruption that you're talking how, and I could see your point where they're mixing inmates with chomos and it's creating fights, which creates a worse environment for the correctional officer, for the CO. So I understand that. But for me, what's even crazier is what these fucking people of California are paying. Every state, I guess. I thought taxes paying for iPads blew my mind, knowing that tax money is going to testosterone, to estrogen, to sex changes. Are they paying for dudes to get sex changes?
100%.
They're cutting. 100%. They're letting prisoners cut their dicks off.
100%. Taxpayer money. One was bragging about how much money they're gonna make when they get back to the yard with that new thing.
And they're selling themselves out.
Yes. Then the surgery went wrong. This has actually happened. And then they sued the California Department of Corrections, saying you purposely gave me a wrong surgery, and now I'm suing you for this.
How much money does that cost the California taxpayers? Dude,
I quit, bro. I couldn't stomach any of that shit, dude.
I don't blame you, dude. That is literally insanity to me.
I'd rather live at a fucking park than deal with that shenanigan, bro. That fucking circus.
Not one thing about any of that would ever make sense to me. And these people are just like, yeah, I'm going to keep voting. Yep, I'm going to vote him in again. But meanwhile, you're bitching about taxes. You're moving here to our states, and you're like, oh, fucking California. You fucking voted for this shit.
They're spreading the filth, bro.
That's what it comes
I feel you guys. I don't think you guys are wrong when you guys are tired of California moving to Texas and moving
Everybody's
to Idaho.
tired of California.
I don't blame you guys. I see it.
They're just... It's a different mindset. It's not the people that they're bad people, right?
Right.
I was stationed in California.
Right.
I spent years in Cali because the Marine Corps and everything else. I think it truly comes down to of California, why nobody likes Californians, is the mindset. Because you go to these other towns, they're moving to these small communities and little cities and stuff like that where things vibe. Like, people get along. Everybody knows their neighbors.
Vibe too, bro.
Yeah, no, you guys don't vibe. Like, there's no vibing in California. You guys think you vibe. But then they bring that mindset of just, like, my neighbors and everything's so fast and they're irritated and all just because they're just living in such a shit environment. And then they're like, I'm going to better my life and move to Idaho. Then they, even though they're conservative or they're not going to vote the way that they used to vote, none of that matters when you're an asshole. Right? Like if you're just a shitty person because you've lived your whole life in a shithole state like California. I get California could be the greatest state out of everywhere. You have everything, the resources, the amount of just activities. You can go surfing, snowboarding, dirt biking all in the same fucking day if you wanted to. Greatest state we could have. But it's the mindset and how these people just keep repeating the same damn problems, and they keep voting the same fucking retards in, and they're like, oh, this is horrible, and then they leave here and then they vote for the same shit, and you're just like, bro, what are you
have doing? A lot of good solid people in California, bro.
Sure,
we're kind of like behind enemy lines.
You guys, but that's what they all talk about. Oh, well, our vote doesn't matter. It's crazy. Yeah, anyways, well, dude, I appreciate the conversation.
Thanks, bro.
I appreciate everything, getting out here and spending some time and getting to see a little bit of what we have to offer here in Idaho. Maybe we can get you out of that shithole.
Hopefully. We'll see you, man.
All love for my California listeners. I love y'all, but you got to start fucking doing something. That state that everybody does with taxes, everything. So anyways, dude, I appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, bro. This is great. That was a real conversation right
Absolutely.
there.